Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. Y'all already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. Listen, tonight we got ourselves a hell of a topic. You know, we got a guy on here that we really couldn't ever really work with. You know, there's been a lot of crazy things that was aligned out there in the YouTube space that we got to get into. You know, history was kind of negated, but nonetheless, history is made. This is what Flight Sports TV is all about. You know, true ball family fans all over the world really touching bases, and it don't get no realer than this right here. This is a hell of a moment, especially if you understand everything that's been going on throughout the years. It's been about a couple of years now. This ain't been no last year, last month, last week. This shit been going on for a minute, and we're gonna debunk a lot tonight here on Flight Sports. So nonetheless, man, for the first time, you know, ever in history, you know, we got a lot to break down. We got my man Bar Trend in the building. You already know what it is. What's the deal? Bar Trend, it's an honor to have you. We're gonna get into it all. Shout yourself out. What's good?
Man, I'm good. New York. I'm good. New York is always interested to talk to New York brothers, man. Hope everybody can hear me. I want to make sure my face was seen. Hopefully everyone can hear me. So first of all, I just want to give you, I want to thank you so much for letting me come through here, inviting me to come on, man. It was, and I accepted immediately, you know, and everything. And there's certain things we're going to get into, you know, we can talk and everything, you know. Shout out to you. I want to do a few shout outs, man, before we get into it. You know, I want to shout out to you. Shout out to brother All Access Dex.
Big fans.
Shout out to brother Nico Savage. You know, shout out to brother Vern. I'm probably about, me and Vern are probably the same age, so yeah, it'd be brother Vern. You know, Rave Kingdom. You know, I see you, Rap God. It's been a while. You know, and also just within the family of the Flight Sports family, man. And also, you know, of course, Sam Dracula, you know, Hoop Jargon, you know, brother DJ Raw Truth, you know, brother Pope B. Frank, you know, even, you know, a D to the K to the Eminem, you know, AB the Hero, and also Ball Facts, man. Shout out to everybody. You know, I am not a stranger coming in here, man. This is, we've been together for a minute. You know, we all started together, man. And so it's good to be together again, you know, minus the foolishness, you know, and I'm going to yield it back to you, brother. And then we can get into it. Take it. The interview the floor is yours. I'm here. No smoke will be dodged, brother.
No, we're gonna definitely get into it, man. We ain't gonna dodge no smoke. You know, it's Flight Sports TV. It's definitely your first time being here. You know, I was speaking to the people before we get into this, but a lot of shit going on throughout the years. You was just associated with a whole nother team. You know, y'all was definitely doing some things over there. Speak to people where you came from. You know, like you said, stranger. You was just it looked like you just departed a situation. You was just a part of the team. Speak to the people of the organization and the team that you just departed, and we got to break it all down.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down. So for anybody that don't know, I am Chief Bartram. That's the rebranding of it. You know, you don't have to say Chief Bartram. Bartram is fine. That's my name. You know, I do the chief branding because, you know, I'm an Aboriginal, you know, so I do the tribal branding to it, you know, saying it gives it that organic feel that I want, that I wanted when I first came to this space, you know. And BTW is the name of the platform. It's content, but it's music because I'm an artist. You know, I make music, bro. You know, I make music, I write bars, I engineer, I do all of that. You see what I'm saying? And so just so everybody knows, this channel is independent. It is no longer a part of the Lit House. That's over with. You know, the departure actually has been for like 5 months, actually, to tell you the truth. You know, there was a small attempt to maybe patch things up over our differences that didn't work. You see what I'm saying? I ended up being ghosted. So I would order built the platform. And the one thing that I did, Flight, was when I wanted to restart the brand, you know, all the blue flame shit came down. I'm trying to keep my language under control on your channel.
No, you good. You good. Do your thing.
Okay. You know, so blue flame is dead. You know, just to make it clear, I'm not gonna miss any words. And all that stuff was taken down, right? So I restarted everything, you know, under new branding. And, you know, I'm going from the dome. So, and so now that has happened, I tweeted out something that I want to repeat. I issued out an apology, right? And this was a blanket apology to everyone. You know, if during my time over there, if I said something that, as I was doing the inventory of the content, I'm a man of principle, brothers and sisters. So I am not too big to say, damn, I went too far in certain things I said, or maybe I could have got over certain things differently to get my point across that will make my point, even if there's disagreement. I don't expect there to be agreement on everything that we say, or else we're a bunch of damn drones, man. So, you know, but what I do expect and what I said is that going forward, that even in certain things that I may disagree with, most times it's going to be a roast. I'm just going to roast. I'll roast a take. You know what I'm saying? But they'll never go into the personal. I know I felt like some things went a bit too personal, you know, and it ceased to be about even opinions over LeVar, over the Suns, over other, and it became something else, something that I was no longer comfortable with, honestly. So I issued out an apology, and that apology was, you know, upon my departure from the Lit House, I said, if I unintentionally upset anyone or hurt anyone, it was not my intent, but it was just time for me to do something else. You know what I'm saying? And in that, I also said to this platform, Flight Sports, the same thing. You know, I sent that out to Ball Facts. I sent it out to AB. You know, I extended it out to DJ. You know, I talked to him. You know, me and Pope been good. Peace, Pope. You know, me and Pope been good. We always have our, you know, we joust, you know, so that's cool. It's all in brotherly love and fun. You know what I'm saying? And anyone else, right? So it was at the end of Ramadan that I did it, which is a tradition for Muslims to do, right? So I wanted a reset. One of the things I wanted to do with my platform was, as I discuss Lamelo Ball, right? You know, or any of the brothers really, I wanted to make sure that in talking Lamelo up, it wasn't necessary for me to shit on the Charlotte Hornet fan base to do that. It's like, nah, even if there's disagreement there right now, that's where Lamelo plays. So, to undercut, I felt like some things undercut the support that he could have had more of, you know, you know, there. And also if we were more, even if we weren't, even if we had our things, there's some things we could have been united on. You understand? Like, we
Yeah,
could have been united
that's
on
right.
LaMelo. We could have been united on LaMelo, regardless of where we fall in, what he did, same with Lonzo, the same with Jello, you know what I'm saying? The same with LeVar, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that it would be good to reset everything and to put the word out there. So I put the word out for people to come back in. Like there have been some people who it's been a while since some people have come through my chat, man. Some of us, like, have been together for years from the beginning that started coming through my chat. And what they said was, we're happy that you're solo dolo. We're happy that, I heard this from a bunch of people, like, it's like, we're happy that we never blamed you for what was going on. We like the direction of the platform. And there was a lot of love that flowed my way when I announced the reset of the platform and the breaking away from the Lit House. And it wasn't like I came out and said, them niggas ain't shit and all that stuff. I never said that. It's like, okay, we're doing something else. Shade was tossed back towards me. Now, I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to defend my platform. I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that. No one's going to throw shade my way and I don't respond. That's not going to happen.
Who is throwing the shade, if you don't mind me asking? I don't mean to interrupt you.
It's all good. It's all good. You see it here in your chat right now. That's unfortunate because he believes what they've told him. And, he could have sent me a DM. We've talked offline before. See, this is the thing. Anything, I was available for anyone. If anyone had any questions, they could have reached me. I'm very available, especially when I was there. I would say this here. So it was shade by it was shade by Rev, you know, subtle shade. But when you're in circles, like you in the circle, even if you and Dex are together, if Dex says something to you inside, you know what he's talking about, even if people outside don't, right? So it was something like that, right? And so I did a subtle response back, without it being like obvious to the people, but when this last thing happened and then, when the block happened, I was blocked, throwing out the Discord. And I was like, okay. I said, all right, I didn't think nothing of it. A new song that came out, I'm ready to push the song and all that stuff. I thought we could work through whatever was going on. And then it became a Spaces was done. And then, backstabber. I'm like, huh? Bitch ass nigga. I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay.
I gotta ask you some things, man. Because like I said, you saying a whole lot. What actually happened? That led up to that point. Because you said something like you said something. Was it, I don't want to get all involved in your situation, but the way you just brought it up, what led up to the point of you just getting kicked up out of every goddamn thing? I mean, that's crazy.
Honestly, I don't know.
And then I'm gonna get into the situation because you brought up something with me and Dex. But I'm gonna wait till you finish your statement.
Yeah. I was using that as an example of like, I'm not that I know anything, or that was using an example as inside talk. You all work together so long that you all, even if this was me, even if it was you and Dex talking, there's certain things you all work with each other long enough so that you can know each other, right? So, I woke up blocked and I was like, okay, then these other things. And then it's like, okay, without no explanation. When I left the Lit House early on, like in April, I had a phone, I talked in text and I said, this is the reason why I'm leaving. A, B, C, D, and E. Some things I'm going to keep to the vest, right? I'm going to speak in general terms, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a code, Now, if other things that come out on the other side in terms of our private conversations, then of course that tells you about that goes into why I'm no longer there. But there was a situation where I was initially asked to take a more leadership role in the Lit House, and I accepted by his call. And when I began to make moves to do that, it was called the Blue Lit, if anyone was around during that time. And if you ask me to run something, I'm going to run it, And so when when I began to make those moves, and there were certain things I wanted to do just to test. I had to do a test because I wanted to see what was going on, And so I said a few things that led to me being told that, well, just keep it the Lit House, don't keep it Blue Lit. And I'm like, okay, but the Lit House is your thing, brother. The Blue Lit will be mine, and we can work together. The Blue Lit will be a platform through which, we can flow things to the Lit House. That way I can have my own thing, my own autonomy in it, as we always had, right? And then then it became, the brothers, there was some problems. Some of the brothers had issues, and I was like, okay. I said, brother, then why didn't they reach out to me, man? We've been working together almost 3 years. You mean to tell me that after all this time, they can't reach me and say, whatever the issue is, we can work it out. You know what I'm saying? Well, do this, that. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, if they want it, they got it. This is the truth. I don't have no reason to lie. I said, if they want it, they got it. So I respectfully declined that. And also, I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do going forward is we can keep our thing, but I'm going to, but this ain't the Lit House anymore. This is BTW, this is Bartranaz. We can kind of, because we've worked together for so long, we can have a brotherly type thing where we work together. But no, because if at this point it's like that, then I feel like now it's like I've put in the work. You all know I have. Now you all can see my work is still over there.
Right. I want to get into that because you brought up the work. Like I said, just from the outside looking in, I don't know the inner workings that's happening over there, nor do I give a fuck. But I'm just gonna keep it all the way real with you. Just seeing from afar, you was second in command. It looked like to me, over there. I would have thought that you could have just hollered at, upstairs, and then y'all could have dealt with it. Seemed like you had all these other motherfuckers, just all in the mix when it should have been top dog, you feel me? Handling business and discussing things. You brought up a situation with Dex, our relationship transcends all this YouTube shit, so I get challenged daily and I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because it's all of the benefit of winning. You understand? It seemed like you had an idea. Like I said, I don't know how. There's two sides to every story, but It seemed like your idea was something to grow something through the whole situation, but it seemed like it wasn't met correctly. There's times where people bring me endeavors and ideas and things of that nature. If I feel like it's coming from the right place, we push the button on it, and things. Shit, there's people that I got to get. Listen, I had to kick some people up out this situation myself. We had people here doing all kind of dumb shit. I had to get them the fuck up out of here, and it is what it is, but we're just going to keep it moving. But it's very unfortunate what you dealt with, especially being, second in command over there from all accounts.
Yeah,
I would have never did nothing like that. I would have never woke up and blocked it. It all depends. Like I said, I had a guy who was in my, I blocked somebody. This guy was fucking around and we had some guests popping off. This nigga's up here hitting up all my motherfucking guests. And I guess that he have nothing to do, no business dealing with. You feel me? Just under the table. mind you, these people coming back to us, letting us know what this nigga doing. Oh yeah, we're gonna get you the fuck up out of here. You know, he's gone. You feel me? But as far as something like you recommended something, you know, that's nothing. That's no offense to really. But like I said, I don't know the whole situation. But it would have been good if y'all could have talked though. You know, just being you are. But go ahead, my bad.
We did talk, and the result is, you know, the result was what it was, you know. So I left that alone, brother. I'm a grown man, brother. I don't chase niggas, brother. Once that is done, they say, okay, you know, because I was, you know, and you let it be known, I am one of the architects. There is no lit house without me and be on the other half of it. These are facts, you know, but that is what it is, right? And so I moved on from it, you know. I'm persona non grata, you know, as if you all pass through Lit House Twitter and Lit House YouTube, you'll be able to see it very clearly. I think DJ had came through and gave a positive shout out to the channel. He came in the chat, and I think that created a meltdown. You know, it's like I started with DJ. You know, it's like, why wouldn't I? I'm out. You know, if I'm out, then I'm free to do what I want. I'm not out, but I still got to check in. You know, no, I'm out. So if I'm out, then I'm going to do what I want with my platform. You know, so DJ had a thing to say. I said, cool, DJ, come through anytime. You know, it's like you came through a few times. It wasn't like no one was there to harangue. And I say that to this tribe here, man. Rap God, the rest of you, come through. You know, it's been a while since we've talked. Come through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, ain't nobody gonna bother you over there. All that is gone.
Yeah,
Coming.
I'm sorry to cut you. I just feel like there's been a lot of politics that have kind of led up to that point. That kind of where it seemed like you're talking about everybody coming together. Obviously, everybody. I like working with everybody. You know, obviously, you have different people that have different outputs and how they push their content and things of that nature. So I don't even try to get all in the mix of that.
Right.
You know, here at Flight Sports, I do all kind of shit. We do it all. You know, but this is a Ball family channel first, before I'm anything, before I'm a boxing, before I'm fucking football, before I'm a Ball family content creator first, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, you can't attack the Ball family and I would, like I said, you could do with your own thing on your own platforms. I love to work with everybody, but you can't just annihilate, you know, just for no goddamn reason, the Ball family, you know, and then, you know, deal with me, you know, or even like it just I just don't. It's no hate, there's no hard feelings. That's just not how I'm rocking. You know, I wanna push the positive shit. I wanna, you know, things of that nature. Anybody could abstract bullshit and push it. You know, here I'll push positive Ball family content. I don't dig for stupid dumb shit, you know, and things of that nature. You know, so that's just a message like to anybody. You know, I want to work with everybody that love Ball family content. But if you want to attack LeVar Ball, like how can, like, with all due respect, you know, how could you really love Lamelo Ball, you know, deep down if you attacking LeVar Ball? What the hell do you think Lamelo would feel about that? You know, Lamelo Ball is triple B's. I hate to break the news to the people, but Lamelo Ball is triple B's. So what I want to say is that I just think that's kind of crazy to me, you know. And I heard you on your platform. I think I was listening to you yesterday. You brought up people just attacking LeVar Ball just unnecessarily with no conscience and things of that nature. But maybe you can elaborate. It seemed like you had something you was about to add to this.
Yeah, I want to speak directly to that. You know, which is why I issued out the apology. I don't have an interest in the destruction of LeVar Ball. I hope you hear me, LeVar. I've never had that interest, right? Now, in terms of certain moves or whatever, I may critique, you know. It's like, oh, brother, you could have kept that to the vest. You should have held on to that a little bit more, a little longer. You know, I've said things like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I said in terms of LaMelo Ball situation specifically, I've said this. I said this on my platform. I said this on when I was a panel, at the Lit House. I said, it's all gonna come back around. I said this. The receipts are still out there. I said, if the brothers are going out to do what they do, I said, those brothers will circle back at the right time for BBB, because I never saw them as leaving. I just saw them as men, perhaps spreading their wings. And my thing that I've always said is let them spread their wings. I've always said, don't penalize the brothers if they are spreading their wings, because I knew that they would go get gems and bring it back to the nest. So when I saw Lamelo Ball with the shoes, and putting the fronts on the shoes, I said, oh, that's great. I said, it's precisely what I said would happen. I remember I said that, I think AB had passed through when I was saying that. So I said, he's going to come back. I said, the brothers may go out, get their bags and bring the bags back home, and all of them can put in that way. BBB will be insulated. They'll have their own bags. They can put it together with BBB, and BBB will be in a better position to move and do what it does, because now the brothers have a diversified bag. That way it can't be attacked the way it was early on. I've said that, and if there's any other things, I'm not, I've said, Jello needs to work for what he, Jello, I'm hoping Jello's not going there expecting things to be handed to him. I'm hoping he works, and he did, everybody, and everything. But I've never wished unnecessarily a critique that is that's based on a concern, right? Or an opinion. That's one thing, but to attack LeVar because the tribe sees him as a symbol of success, sees him as something that maybe someone else could emulate. No, because that's going another place. Same with Deion. It's like, to go at LeVar over just the fact that he's LeVar, and Flight Sports fucks with LeVar, and others do. And on that basis alone, I'm going to tear him down, because he's getting too much love from the people. He's an idol that I need to crush. It's like, no, you can say, and I said this yesterday, I said, you can say, brother, I think you jumped out the window on that one, on that take, whatever, brother, I can say that, don't sit on your hands as you watch LeVar. I can say that,
I think I don't mean to cut you off. I think that there is room for criticism and critiques in the Ball family space, because that seems like something that goes on. Bottom line is the hate for LeVar Ball and the hate for certain things. I think that's kind of ripping the whole goddamn community apart, in my humble opinion, because like you said, you bring up the word tribe a lot. The tribe loves LeVar Ball, you understand? And then you have, like I said, you have some people who don't like it, but like you said, there is a place, like I said, and you just said the way you say it, I think you can, if you want to critique some things, but I think it's a difference between, like you said, just going all the way out the roof, and I hear some of that sometimes, where I feel like it's coming from a whole nother place. But like I said, I'm not here to judge or nothing like that. I ain't here to. I'm just saying that it is nice with all of us working together. And like I said, the more the hate and shit keeps ripping and running, the more everything gonna stay separated. Because like I just said, I want to reiterate, this is a Ball family channel first, and I love all the people. I don't give a damn. I love everybody that work, out here. I listen to everybody's shit, but. If you want to attack this, it's going to be hard for me to be dealing with you, because this is a Ball family channel. I don't think I'm better than nobody. I think that this is a Ball family channel, and I can't have you attacking the Ball family on this channel. you know.
No, I
But
got
like
it.
I
I
said,
relate to
all
it.
over, do your own thing, you know. But I love it. But like you said, it's a different. And I'm telling you, there is a space for criticism in the ball verse or whatever you want to call it. You know, salute to AB the hero, you know, who definitely popped off the ball verse along with many others, you know. But AB definitely is holding it down. I remember when AB inducted me into the ball verse. That shit was funny as hell. That was on a Christmas day. He had a live. And he was like, yo, so you ain't know you're into the ball verse, right? That shit was funny as hell. But shout out AB, man. He's a hell of a legend. Salute to all y'all that's in the chat. You know, what's good?
Can I answer Dex's question?
Yeah, go ahead. Salute to all access.
All access, Dex. No, never a bad place. It was never from a bad place. It was like, brother, you know, LeVar, I know. And I've heard him say this to you, Flight. It's just entertainment. I'm not, you know, I'm not nobody special. I said, brother. You know, greatness, you know, sometimes greatness just finds you, bro. You don't have to seek it out. Sometimes it just finds you. You know, a calling finds you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know, so beyond whatever he came, right? Then, you know, and because LeVar is a public figure, then he will be subject to public critiques, right? And so anything that I've said has never to be the destruction of the Paul family, no jealousy of what they've done and accomplished. It's like, okay, then, well, you know, I can do those things. You know, will I get some big mansion? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm happy that he got one. I don't have to hate on the fact that he got a mansion with, you know, with the BBB in the pool. I thought that was cool as hell. That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know, but when you talk about Chicago, you know, we talk about, you know, the boys, you know, the young men from a basketball point of view. Then, you know, now from a point of view of basketball, you know, I will critique or praise. I'll do that. I've done it in the past, and I'll continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't seek the destruction of. Shout out to you, AB. Good to see you. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been together, AB. You know. In terms of critique, you know, not in terms of BBB, I may say, I like those shoes. I may not like these, but that's not an attack on LeVar. It's like, I want to see a different design, or I'll wait for the new shoes to come out. You know, I'll wait for a different shoe to come out. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's it with me, Flight. You know, that's it. That's all. You see what I'm saying? Past that, I'm not going, because that is not necessary, because I don't have that type of spirit to do that, you know, and everything. And so that's why I said, again, if it appears I went that way, then I want to make sure that it's understood that, you know, that was never my energy. And I want to make it clear from my mouth that that wasn't my energy, never was. Even if, Flight, I've roasted some things, and I have. I ain't going to sit up here and say I haven't. I've roasted some things that have come from this channel. You know, so come on now. You know, Dex, really? You know, things like that.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. I'm gonna keep it real. We actually real cool with that, believe it or not. There's a lot of things that maybe was said out on the outskirts. Y'all probably was like, I know this dude mad as hell. I mean, I really wasn't. You know, it takes a lot to really, especially on this space, you know. Like I said, and I don't want to speak too much, but like I said, my focus is on point. A lot of things, that's not the way you're gonna throw me off, throwing little shots. You know, and I don't give a fuck about any of that. You know, I'm real focused, you know, so that's not the way to really get to me. So a lot of things that was said, it really just, as you can see, it rolled right off, you know, pause. You know, this channel has been crazy. Like I said, we done been under attack several times. We done survived many wars. You know, we just got to keep it all the way 100. I wasn't supposed to be here right now, you know, but like I said, and also we lost Lonzo Ball. You know, I don't think we get enough credit. You know, we lost our #1 target, you understand, and we still standing and still doing well, you know, and things of that nature, you know. So I think that's something that people really need to start paying attention to. Flight Sports TV lost his #1 draw, you understand, and we still here standing, and one of the top channels, you know, in the space. You know, not I didn't say the top. I said one of, or with many others. You understand? So, like you said, you brought up many names. Like you know, shout out to DJ. Shout out to AB. You brought up DJ. Everybody got their start. You know, rocking with DJ. You know, DJ gave me an interview. You know, and like I said, I met a lot of people off the back burner, off that interview. Guys like Dex, guys like many other people that's in the chat, you know, and I'm on the record of always saying that I ain't got no problem paying homage. You know, I respect all of the content creators. I don't disrespect any of them, you know, because I got respect for the people that actually do this. I know how hard it is. You know, I understand your work that you put into, you know, putting in these videos. I don't think these people in the chat understand what it's all about, you know, getting, especially with you, with your own life. You know, I don't think people understand. You know, we really need to petition for YouTubers to be compensated better and things of that nature, because we bring a lot to the table. You see YouTube trying to bring on plans for people that's not even 1,000 subscribers now. I don't know if you're noticing. You know, so the game is shifting. Well, we just got to keep doing our part. You know, in the future, this thing is going to be a money machine. You know, we just got to keep. We the people that's putting them bricks in that shit. You know, but that's just my humble opinion. You know, so it is what it is at the end of the day. Go ahead, Bartram.
Yeah, man. So this platform, the BTW Chief Bartram, is a chill platform. You know what I'm saying? I say it's like brothers coming together, you know, sitting on the couch, you know, homies come together, you know, we got our drinks, you know, maybe playing cards and talking shit. That's it. That's all. Or if you're in a nicer house, we're in the den where the pool table is, talking little shit. You know what I'm saying? The ladies are somewhere else. Or if they, you know, if they roll like that, they might be in the house with us, you know. But it's a vibe. You know, it's a chill, laid back vibe with a little bit of sauce, you know, over there. So we talk, but we what you say? I keep popping, Pope. Can y'all hear me? But yeah, so
yeah, I'm listening. No, I don't think he meant something was wrong with your audio.
So yeah, so it's a chill channel.
Yeah, I want to say something. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to flip anybody. You know, I don't want nobody to think in this chat that I'm altering people, what they want to say and all of that. I'm making people get down with LeVar Ball and there ain't none of that stuff going on. You know, I just feel like I hope that we could, like I said, there's a room for criticism. I just wish we could do our things in a different way and not always spew off so much hatred, you know, because like I said, you know, we all in the community and it's just going to continue to be divided and divided and divided. You know, everybody don't have to rock with necessarily Big Baller Brand or nothing like that, but why make a video just blatantly just annihilating LeVar Ball and you know it's coming from a hatred point of view. We got to just call it how we see it. You know, that's what we have to do. We can sit up here and bullshit around. I'm listening to it where I got good ears. You understand? I heard what the fuck I said, and I heard pure hatred, you know, coming from whoever the hell was speaking. I think some of that got to change, you know, and even from us, you know, I think it need to be challenged. You know, we need to be more critical as well. I don't think that nobody's more critical. We got people that come here who don't like love. I don't know if you listen or whoever. We got people, we bring people on here. You don't. We got some of the, you listen, you ain't got to go nowhere else. We got some of the most haters on here. I know you heard. We got them.
I've heard my brother's name, him and Dex be going at it. I be laughing.
Who you talking? You remember his name?
New York,
I know who he is.
I think he's from New York. He has that deep New York accent, man. That's not what I said. You know, he's loud.
Yeah, that's their arch nemesis. You know, Dex, that's Phonics. That's Phonics.
That's Phonics. Okay.
Yes, yeah, him and Phonics, they arch nemesis. You know, when they get on the all hell is gonna break loose. If Phonics and Dex is on the panel, it's gonna be multiple arguments, multiple wars. It's just they got that kind of relationship. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. Yes, and it's hard for me to deal with it. Just, you know, I'm in the middle trying to calm these two, but I just got to back the fuck out the way sometimes, you know. Shit crazy.
Yeah, so I come through, bro. I come through. I don't come through and looking to disrupt the chat and stuff like that. I don't believe in that, you know. I think the last time I was in your chat, me and Dave James was having a little interesting dialogue in your chat. I'll just leave it like that. You know, but then after that, you know, I would come by you know, and then I would keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's weird, you know, this, like again, this isn't this, you know, is I can only speak for myself, like that's the only thing I can do. I can speak for myself and I can say what my spirit was and is in this, you know. I'm not married to anybody. you know, hopefully I don't have nobody acting like they rummaging through my phone to see who I'm liking, you know, stop. You know, but it's like when you invited me over, I said, sure. I don't have no, sure, whatever. If it's like, trust me, if there was ever like an issue, right, that required a talk, I would reach out to you, Flight. I would not go live and say Flight Sports ain't shit. I would not do that.
And that's how I operate. Like I said, I'm not into all the internet games and all that shit.
Yeah,
like I got a lot of these. Most of the people that's on here either have my number. We got social media. You got mutual people, you know, that we could go through to reach out. What the hell I need to make a video on one of y'all? First and first, I don't have time for that. You know, so y'all gonna be making videos. I ain't gonna respond because I gotta make videos on actual content. I got a lot of shit going on off the channel. You know, so when I get on this shit, I gotta knock out the shit I need to record. I can't be on here making videos on other people. Are you kidding me? I ain't got that much time. You know, so I mean, it's crazy.
Right. You know,
I gotta stop, man. We gotta slow that shit down too. You know, everybody's. I want to say something. Everybody's good in their own way. You know, you have guys in the chat. You have Pope. You have AB. Everybody has their own flair and swagger. You got yourself. You got DJ. You have DKM. You got Ball Facts. You got everybody got their own, you know, swag that they put out there to this space. You know, and everybody can take something, you know, but the more and more we don't have to funnel everybody to everybody channel. We all in the same community. I think everybody knows that. Yes. You know, so we just need to put out good content and everybody gonna circle. But if you're identified as a goddamn hater, you know, people gonna exile you yourself. I don't have no goddamn group chats. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't have no group chats where I'm up here writing and I'm holding meetings and I'm shitting on. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time, you know, to be on there and we up here rejoicing and shitting. We never did that. You know, we always talked about content and what we need to do next and things of that nature. We're not on the phone. We're not huddling up discussing how y'all and, you know, and just crazy, you know, it never was like that. But what was some of the reasons why y'all dislike Flight Sports TV? Do you feel like I was just lumped up with all of the shit? I mean, what was that about? Because this is my first time ever working with you, you know, right now.
So, okay. Again, I'm not going to speak to them. I'm going to speak to myself. You know, when you are in, you know, a lot of it was, for me, it was seen, I guess, from a competitive point of view, you know, and okay, this said certain things happened supposedly between you and DJ, and that led to, and you've heard this, Flight, you've heard this before, man. This ain't your first time hearing this. You know, this, you know, Pope said this when he came on here and said, you know, so it's the same thing. It hasn't, Flight, it's the same thing, bro. It has not changed. You know, so, you know, this like, you know, it's like, well, you know, it's like that. I guess the thought was that there was nothing but unbridled support with no critique, you know, and it's like, you know, and that was the narrative, right? You know, and everything. At least that was what was put out. And of course, there was, you know, competition for attention. Well, you know, we got the best over here, you know, come here, you know, and I think that was a part of it for that, at least what I can see, you know. Now beyond that, you know, if beyond that, I can't answer that question because I don't have no, honestly, I don't have no idea as to, outside of anything that happened behind the door that I don't know about, that, you know, that went on, that now this is the reason, and that was what was said, you know, well, this happened, you know, DJ tried to do something, you all went behind his back, whatever it was, and then because of that, I was defending DJ until now. I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, all of that stuff is alleged. I didn't go behind anybody's back, but I mean, like I said, it's hearsay. But go ahead.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, that's what was said.
I'm answering the question, from what I was told, So that and some from what I was taught, I said, oh, really? He would do them like that, And so the problem took place is that when you give a benefit of the doubt, and it's like, okay, no, I can't rock with that. I'll just stay here, right? So what should have happened, and I should know better, I should have said, DJ, what's going on, bro? Flight, what's going on? Because I'm not liking the energy here. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking what's going on here. And if this is what's going on, I'm just going to withdraw completely from it and let you all just have it. You know what I'm saying? And then that way, instead of it being talked about 3 years later, you could have said then, brother, I don't know what you're talking about. DJ could have said the same thing. Brother, I don't know what you're talking about, or whatever was going on, And then that way, all that stuff could have either been squashed. We could have seen where hearts were. And then it's like, okay, so you're on some bullshit then. It's not them, it's you. It's like, so I think as men, brother, communication is important. You know what I'm saying? Respectful communication, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to everybody, and so, overlapping, that's not going to be, but respectful dialogue. Agree or disagree. We're not going to agree on everything. I
don't mean to cut you off, but I see Ali Payne in there. He says something like, as a content, none of that is going to work. We need to get that shit up out the way. Ain't nobody going to be sitting up here coinciding on times and things of that nature. It's like you can't control somebody's Wi-Fi, somebody's computer, you can't do that. Whenever somebody want to create, they want to create, and that's what we got to understand too. Dude, people gonna do what they want to do. If you score well on your video or your live, that's not affecting me. If such and such hits 10,000 views, that's not a hit towards me. And then that's something that we have to get out of. I think that's too much going on. Oh Lord, this dude just hit 5,000 views. Oh my goodness, it's all one big fucking illusion. You understand? So we got to get up out of that. So everybody's gonna have their ups. YouTube is about ups and downs. You gonna have ups. I'm gonna have ups. I'm gonna have downs. All that is just how YouTube is set up. And it's up to you to be able to transcend those down periods. I don't want to say too much. But I got yeah.
No, I got it. Understand it, brother.
Yeah.
AB, what AB say? I'm media trained, brother. I wish I was.
Bartran's media trained. LOR, great job answering. Yeah, you're doing a great job answering.
I wish I was, but I just had good brothers around me, man. Good mentors around me, brother. I learned from the OGs that taught me, man. So I give credit to them.
Yeah. So that's just one of my things. Like I said, I try to do. I don't really disrespect any of the content creators. If there's some shit I maybe dislike, I just keep creating. Because like I said, before I was all this, I just was. If you could check my catalog, a lot of people got things mixed and screwed with this channel anyway. Because you might hit a live stream. First things first, you might think Flight Sports TV is a live stream, and it's not. So if you want to, you can hear me. We have a host of superstars on here. You got All Access on here cooking, like you said, Phonics. We got Gemini. There's a lot of others. Like I said, I don't want to leave nobody out.
Yeah, I'm not missing people. That's one I was familiar with. Shout out to everybody, the whole tribe. Shout out to everybody.
It's gonna be. It'll be good. Like I said, for you to, let's see, maybe if you could definitely link up with some guys here today or even in the future. Because like I said, I think that's what the people really want to see. That's what it
is what they want to see, Flight.
Yeah, and I'm not giving the people what they want to see. That's what I'm about. I want to give the people the show. But go ahead.
It is what they want to see, and that's what they told me in my chats. They said, Bartran, all this other stuff ain't good. I was told this. I'm glad that you are going solo. And the tribe told me, don't stay solo. Reach out to people. You know what I'm saying? Right. Work with people, and I said I would do that, and everything. So Flight, from this time forward, it's a fresh start, bro. You know, let's put all the other madness, let's put that behind us, man. You know, Flight, I'll say to you personally, if I said some things, if I went too far roasting you or anybody in this tribe, you know, I want to sincerely apologize. You know, it is not cowardly to say that. That's maturity, bro. I'm an OG in this tribe, man. You know what I'm saying? You know,
we gotta start acting like that. The OGs got us. That's another thing, like you said, boss. See, that's a growth, and that's another thing I'm challenging even the OGs. You know, we gotta start acting like the OGs. You know, let's say okay, cool, bar trend. This is where the OGs where they need to be, and I'm calling this shit right now. Let's say it's a problem between a content creator and a content creator. What the fuck we got all these OGs here for? You know, for you to antagonize the situation, you know, you got to step in and you dead that shit, especially if you one of the OGs that got connections between that dude and this dude, and you could make it happen. You know, instead of just keep fueling the shit and then, you know, let's end it. You understand? And that's what we need to do as OGs. But go ahead, Bartran.
I have youth that listen to me, brother. I would never lead them in a way that would, number one, cut them off from their growth. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially when it's us. You know what I'm saying? We're not a monolith, bro. We're gonna have different things that we're gonna do. You know, and I'm going to any youth that listen to me is gonna be like, if you can work it out, work it out. You know, if you can't, then peacefully depart. You know what I'm saying? And then if there's anything else, defend yourself. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But don't go into that. Like, you know, don't go there and don't keep it there. Some of this has been going on for 3 years, bro. This ain't just something fresh. This has been going on for years. It's like, okay. So to me, that's something else going on, you know, that I'm not going to speak to.
And I want to add, ain't nobody going nowhere either.
And ain't nobody
that's another thing. I don't know where people think that we're gonna keep hating them off until you wipe them out. It's not happening. You're gonna look up. You're gonna still be here.
Because I damn sure ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I got my feet kicked up on the recliner. You know, ice cold soda on the side. That's how comfortable I am. You know, I ain't going no fucking where. Period.
Oh, and as far as what you also said too, like anybody from the machine, you know, reach out to, you know, that want to work with me, or, you know, we can vibe together, you know, by all means, you know, everything is Chief Bartran. You know, I'm on all the platforms, TikTok, I'm, you know, of course, YouTube, X now, not Twitter. You see what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, DM me, man. We can vibe. I'm probably gonna run StreamYard again, you know, so I can begin to have a panel. Like Flight, if you come through the Chief Bartran channel, BTW, you want to come up, by all means, you can come up. Nobody, you know, you can come up.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, you can come on through, Flight, please. You and whoever else, Dex, by all means, you know, I would love to pick your brain, Dex. You know, and whomever else, you know, come through. And that's, you know, of course, Pope comes through. You know, in the other content creators, you know, as long as you don't know bullshit, you know, you can come through. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who was on it, they're barred from coming in my chat, brother. That's done. You know, it's a vibe. The last time we had a chat, there were old friends that came through. We was talking about Miles Bridges, and the vibe was so damn high. Because of the separation, you know, it extended into the Charlotte fan base too, bro. It's like, so old friends, old fans of a common team came back together, brother. And it was like, we was all vibing, talking about Miles Bridges. It was such a beautiful chat. I said, oh no, I will protect this, man. The people need to have a place to vibe without all the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's all, bro. So that's it, man. There's nothing really more to say about that, Flight. You know what I'm saying? That's behind me. You know, we can put that behind, you know, that foolishness behind us. You know, and whatever they're doing, they do. I'm moving on, doing my thing.
Well, I think that's a good look for you, man. You know, but let's get into some basketball right quick. Yes. But obviously, we know we ball family content creators. You know, what's your thoughts? Number one, we got Lamelo Ball, MB one to one of one. This is a big year. He coming off that. He just got that big chicken. You know, in New York. I don't know if you know what chicken means. You know. You know what that means?
I don't know what big chicken mean, bro. I'm Chicago dude.
He just got that chicken. You know, that chicken mean that bag. You know what I'm saying? So he just got the half a chicken or the whole chicken, you know. So let me know what you expected from Lamelo Ball. You got the whole team coming back intact. In all seriousness, what's your thoughts?
It's year one for him now, Flight. It's a reset. We've been wanting him. We universally been wanting Lamelo to have these keys since he came to Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? He finally has the keys. Finally. You have a new ownership group that had just put a $3 billion bag headlined by Lamelo Ball. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I asked this. I said, if you are new ownership, because I had a little tit for tat with one of the brothers, not those brothers, but where he was saying to me, it's not about Lamelo Ball. I said, wait a minute, brother. I said, the reason why they delayed in buying the team is because they wanted to know Lamelo's status before they put that $3 billion down, man. It's like you got $3 billion bag to spend this weekend. You're gonna drop it on Charlotte Hornets with Lamelo not re-signing his extension? I don't think so. So once Lamelo Ball signed that bag, $250 million, baby. Now the centerpiece is Lamelo Ball, and you can see it in all the Charlotte PR. They'll highlight the other players, but it always circles back to Lamelo Ball. It is his team. Charlotte is his city. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I said that Lamelo Ball got the keys in his right hand and the shit list in his left because of all the other stuff that's been going on. You know, so what I expect is for Lamelo Ball to be an all-star once again because the East is open. I expect that Lamelo Ball will be talked about as one of the faces of the league definitively at the end of this year, during this year. I expect more games will be added to the NBA scheduling to see Lamelo Ball and to see Charlotte Hornets, you know, and I expect Lamelo Ball to get the calls that he did not receive in the past. I expect that to change because the owner is Rick Schnall from New York. You know, he's from those circles in New York. Like, Rick Schnall is from New York.
Yeah.
So I have an understanding what it means when Rick Schnall say, I'm from New York. He said that in a few of his interviews. I understand what that means when you say that. You understand what I'm saying? So if LaMelo's not getting the calls or the treatment that he should as a star in this league, Rick Schnall from New York will make some calls to New York. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a different thing than what it was under the previous ownership. And it is what it is. I'm not going to get into that part of it. But what I'm saying is that Rick Schnall along with his group just paid $3 billion that he's the face over. He is not going to allow that. He's not going to allow that centerpiece of his team to be messed over by the NBA. That's over with. Now it's about building around him. And now it's about putting a team around him that don't get in his way. So I like some of the things that they did. I know there were some who wanted Scoot. You know, honestly, I'm happy that didn't happen. Brandon Miller, I think, is a better fit because that backcourt is his. That locker room is his, right? Of course, I'm gonna pick your brain, Dex. Please, you're an intelligent man. You're an intelligent man. I know this. You know, so the team is now around him. Miles is back. You know, they brought PJ back, and they said the reason why they brought these people back was the fit and the growth that they had with Lamelo Ball. It is about Lamelo Ball, bro. You know, if you don't fit with the franchise, you won't be there. This is a different thing. So that's why I say it's year one. Now Lamelo got the keys. Now Lamelo this year, a lot of people talking about stats. They want to average 30 points and all this stuff. That's not what I want to see. I want to see Lamelo Ball said something in his first press conference flight when he came. They asked him, what will you bring to the Charlotte Hornets? And LaMelo Ball said, I will bring leadership. That's what he said at the age of 19. He said, I will bring leadership. So this year now, you know what I'm saying? This year now is LaMelo's leadership phrase coming, leading a franchise now, leading them. No more looking me off. I am the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Oh, brother needs a few more shots. He had a bad game last game. Let's get him going this time so we can go on a winning streak. Lamelo Ball has the talent to get his shot anytime he wants to. You know what I'm saying? So I want him to pick his spots in the game. Shoot the ball, but make sure Mark Williams gets some touches. It'll get him excited. Make sure Miles get his touches. Make sure PJ get his touches. He's the point guard. If LaMelo Ball is averaging 30 points a game and all this stuff, some of the tribes said, LaMelo, 30 points. I said, but if LaMelo is as the point guard is averaging 30 points, that means the rest of the team ain't doing shit then. If he's the one having to take over the scoring, so Brandon Miller, get him up, get him going, leading the team, knowing what to do. And LaMelo has done some of this in the past. I remember in the Sacramento game when Malik Monk was still playing for Charlotte, Borrego had ran the play, right? It was for someone else, I think. LaMelo Ball told Monk, no, baby, you shooting this ball. See, LaMelo Ball in a critical moment, he'll set up somebody else to shoot the ball if they got the best shot. He set up Malik Monk for that winning play. And he told Malik, you shooting. You see what I'm saying? So I want to see, leadership, right? He's getting paid. Slim Cool. So will LaMelo lead over Hayward? And he got the money to lead now, Slim. It ain't like it was in the past. He's the highest paid player on that team. Money ranks. He's going to pay. He got the most money on that team. Gordon Hayward's on the clock. This is last year. If they keep him or trade him, he's on the clock. Rozier may be on the clock also. But he's paid to lead now. The $250 million bag, he cannot sit to the back. So I want to see that from LaMelo. I want to see how, as a young player, how he leads the team, how he rallies the team. Right. I want to see him rally the brothers.
What about Miles? Like I said, you brought Miles coming back with a vengeance. He looking for some money too. He looking for some chicken. So how could he? I think the Miles dynamic. He either could take it to the next level, or he could throw a monkey wrench in this thing because he going for the bag. You know what I'm saying? There's no way he's going in here thinking, let me just get everybody in. This dude going for 30 a night. But go ahead.
He should.
I hope so.
But Dex Flight.
Yeah.
Did you see that interview that Rich Nall did with Kyle Bailey on WFNZ?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
You all need to go and look at it. The first time Rich Nall came. You all know, hopefully you all saw the press conference when they rolled Miles Bridges back out, right? It was very carefully crafted, that presser with Miles Bridges and Mitch, right? The case wasn't talked about. They avoided those questions. Miles was very subdued. Usually Miles Bridges is popping in the chat. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't popping in this chat. It wasn't with Miles like, let's get this shit over with so I can't get out of here. Rick Snall, and I'm saying this is a critique. This is what it is. Rick Snall went on to Kyle Bailey's channel, WFNZ. He tried to clean it up a little bit. But in essence, he said, when he was asked about Miles Bridges, he said, we're giving a convicted felon a second chance. That's a quote from him. That's what he said. I said, I was leaning back. I said, dude, you just fucked up all the damn PR y'all just did for Miles if you're saying this, right? So was it a slip of the tongue? I don't know what it was, right? You see what I'm saying? You see, so now I don't think he's sold completely on Miles Bridges. I think he did it for LaMelo. And because they re-signed PJ Washington, right? I chat a question. I said, Miles is going to be suspended for the next 10 games. Even if they keep the team as it is right now, if Miles is going to start, then somebody's going to go to the bench. And I think the PR, unfortunately, and I say this unfortunately, man, because unfortunately with us, Black youth, young men, when we make a mistake, we get no grace. As soon as that thing popped off with Kevin Porter Jr., Miles was lumped in right with him, even though that thing, whatever went on.
Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. Go ahead.
I thought it was a damn disgrace, Flight. It's like, okay. So now because of that, will the Hornets take the PR hit for Miles to cook? You know what I'm saying? because that's the complicated thing. And Miles has to cook because he's on a 1-year deal where he'll be an unrestricted free agent next year. And if he don't cook, then he's out if no other team pick him up. So Miles has to be the good soldier this year. And you see all over social media, that's what he's doing. Telling Kai Jones to take his ass off the live, whatever he wants.
I want to speak on Kai Jones. I wrote some notes on Kai Jones. Look out for a video. I might put something out why the Hornets need to trade Kai Jones. I was just looking at his ass. I think we need to let his ass go because he moving like a clown. And this ain't the time for clown shit. This is a big season. I don't like all this goofy shit going on. Let me know your thoughts on it in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no, I don't have no factual evidence about KPJ, what really happened. That's why I didn't jump out the window on it. You know what I'm saying? Domestics are tricky, brother. I don't make no domestics are tricky. It can start one way and come another. I feel sorry for everybody involved. That's always been my answer. You know what I'm saying? This is not the actual. Unfortunately, we're in the age of social media, bro. And so when something gets put out there, people immediately judge it. You see what I'm saying? Without they judge feelings or narratives or whatever, right? So Kai Jones, 2 things. Number one, this ain't the time for you to be doing any of that shit because you got new ownership. And the new ownership said that everybody's under evaluation. The only people that he kind of they've approved, of course, is Lamelo. They talked up Brandon Miller a whole lot. They love Brandon Miller. They've talked up Nick Jr., and Mark Williams. They talked him up. And now that PJ is re-signed, they've talked him up. That's number one. Number two, I said on one of my live streams, I said, I don't want to see Kai Jones Kai Jones just got finished dunking on Victor Wembanyama. I do not want to see him doing no damn sham guard, man. Dunk. Get in there and dunk. I have not seen Kai Jones do a post move yet, face up or back to the basket. You're out by the 3-point line and you got to bounce to dunk on damn Victor Wembanyama and you out dribbling and all this other stuff. No, man. So he's had time and he's on the clock. You know what I'm saying? So I think Kai Jones will end up having to go back down. Now that PJ is back, ain't no room for Kai Jones. He ain't going to have the room to play on the main team. He's going to be back in Greensboro for a 3rd year. And if you keep going down, if you keep cycling down to the G League, you're going to end up at a situation where you're out and you kind of be playing for the Bahamas doing splits down there. You see what I'm saying? So that's what so Miles is delicate, man. And because Brandon Miller is too good to keep on the bench. I think I saw you asked a question, Dex, but you up here. I think you up here now.
He's not here yet. He'll be here. He'll be here shortly. I think he had a question that he had here, but you brought up Brandon Miller. I do think he's talented. I think that the way they brought in, but this new ownership, new regime, the way they brought in Lamelo, who knows how they're going to bring in, this guy. Could he start off on the bench? And then, the Hornets is nothing to rule out. I would hope that he would start. But would you be shocked if they had Hayward in his position?
To shop him around, they're going to have to start Hayward or else. This was another thing I was talking in my chat about, because I asked him who would start, and the chat said Brandon Miller should start at the 3 or the 2, right? And I said, okay, Terry, that means, and then when Miles come off his suspension, he should start. So LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, Mark Williams, right? So I said, okay, now if you all do this, that means that Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward are off the bench. I said, do you know how much money is sitting on the bench if y'all do that? $30 million for Gordon Hayward. I think I don't know Terry's exactly. I think it's close to $50 million sitting on the bench. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that money cannot sit on the bench, because even if they're looking to shop them around, they have to give them time so they can package them up. So I think Brandon Miller will start off on the bench, but I don't think he's going to end on the bench. I think they're going to make room for Brandon Miller because his skill is too good to bench. His skill is too good. I think they're going to make room for Brandon Miller to come up and start, and I think he's a natural 3. I think he can handle the 2, but at 6'9" and still growing, he could fool around and be 6'10" or 6'11". when it's all said and done. As Byron Davis said, LaMelo is now 6'9". That's what Byron says. I mean, so I think eventually he's going to start. They may redshirt him briefly, but I think he's going to start. The ownership like him. See, in the politics of the politics, sports is just not on merit flight. There's always politics involved. If you're the owner's favorite, of course, they're going to make room for you to start. The ownership was their first call was, of course, jointly with Michael to resign LaMelo, but their call was also to get Brandon Miller. So they're vested in him. They if you look at the PR, you can kind of tell who a team is invested in by who they feature in their PR. If it's not LaMelo Ball, they immediately pivot to Brandon Miller on their PR. If you check Charlotte PR, so they always are talking about LaMelo. They're always talking about Brandon Miller. They're talking about those two. Mark Williams gets a little bit. Miles finally got some PR with a smiley face because they want to keep some. They want to all the RTB, MB energy. That won't be happening this year, bro. I don't expect to see.
There ain't gonna be no videos.
He will not have a cup nowhere near him, bro. It ain't happening.
You should just take it easy.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to, because if there's any, unfortunately, and I hate this, man, I hate it. If there's any sign of a Miles in his more natural way, it could affect what he needs to do to remain in the NBA, because it could be said he still got those tendencies, and because we don't get grace, that can be used as an excuse to either not bring him back or to lowball him when it's time for negotiations, because he's a problem, right? A quote unquote problem. Even if it's not a big one, still it's a problem. That's why, if you notice today, when Kai Jones said that me and Miles goes on our adventures and he did all that madness, and Miles posted a response with PJ Tucker looking at Joel Embiid like, huh? So Miles is walking a thin line, but he is hungry. His career is on the line, bro. So he is hungry. The signing of PJ complicates it, because between PJ, Miles, and Brandon, somebody is going to have to sacrifice. And I'm waiting to see who they're going to ask to do that.
Somebody going to have to come off the bench?
Someone's about to come off the bench between those three, because I don't think they're going to put Brandon Miller at the 2.
So as constructed off the top of your head, what's going to be the starting lineup on opening night, barring they don't make no trades?
LaMelo, Terry, Gordon Hayward, PJ, and Mark Williams.
So you're going to have Miles coming off the bench?
Miles ain't playing for the first 10 games.
Oh, yeah. I'm tripping. My bad. You're right. But do you see Miles starting once he gets back, or are they going to bring him in off the bench?
Off the bench to test the PR, bro. They got to test the PR, man.
Oh, that's dirty. They bring Miles off the bench.
It's a dirty business, bro.
Yeah.
But for Miles to start immediately, people will say you starting an abuser. He just abused and can just come back and start. There is something like that out there, bro.
But they shit that. I tell you what, that could make them dangerous if they're gonna have to alter some lineups, and I think bringing Miles off the bench is scary.
It is. But now again, see, even as they go forward in, right? Who are they? Because it'll be Miles and Brandon off the bench, so it's a nice bench. But eventually somebody is going to be. There's going to be an odd man. Now PJ complicated. When they resign PJ, I could say Miles just be on the other side of Brandon Miller. But with PJ signed on a very economical contract, by the way, for the Hornets, three quick years for $48 million. Now it's like, okay, who are they going to pick in this? It's going to be intrigue. There's going to be intrigue in the Queen City, bro. Intrigue, on how they surround LaMelo, who they keep around him, who they let go, who they give more time to, who they don't. That's going to come from the top down. You see what I'm saying? And also, the shooting guard position behind Terry is open right now. I hate to say it. Nick Jr., Book, Amari Bailey, and McGowan's. Who will come off the bench there? Nick, I thought Frank Ntilikina. I'm mispronouncing his name. He will be the backup to LaMelo Ball, but he hurt himself.
No. I hate this.
Yeah, they got
Frank.
I know you do, New York. Because he was in your team, right?
No, but he's really trash. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's gonna be the backup. They're gonna have to rely on one of these young boys.
They can't
No,
run the
yo,
point,
Frank
man.
Ntilikina is trash. I'm just saying. You said the backup. I don't even know if he played last year.
The rest of them can't play the point, bro. Nick failed when he tried to play the point in summer league, man. All he did was shoot the ball. He got shooting guard instincts. He's not a playmaker. He's not a playmaker.
I don't know about Frank.
We'll see. We'll see.
He might be the best. He might be the only option.
I think they've made it where he's the only option unless they keep Maldon.
Theo will probably be
unless
better.
They keep
Better than him.
You know, we'll see. Like I said, it's intrigue in the Queen Cities. There's a lot of questions that needs to be answered. A lot of questions.
You got Steve Clifford. Like I said, what about Nick Richards? You know, nobody bringing him up. I like Nick Richards. What you think about him? He's a young player. Don't you think he could? Yeah, of course, back up. But don't you think he could benefit being in that? Obviously, with Miles, I think Miles coming back. I think he's gonna challenge all of these dudes. Like he's another leader of the basketball team. You know, vocally.
And I think he's positioning himself to be that leader. And I think that's how, if he can get that role of being a leader of the team, that way Lamelo can do his thing on the court and Miles kind of lead that locker room. I think that's the best of both worlds. And Lamelo will be, come on, Dex. And Lamelo will, be the overall leader, but Miles can handle that part of the locker room. And if he get that, then Miles could become something of a what's my brother's name in Miami? Udonis Haslem. If he can get a Udonis Haslem type situation, where he's like the guy that kind of tightens people up and help create the culture in Charlotte, then Miles will always have a place to eat. You know what I'm saying? He will. But we'll see how it goes with him, because the owner, Rich Naw, said we will see this year. Not, he said we will see what happens this year. That's what he said. So Miles has to get past this year, and hopefully all the things that they want him to do, he'll do them to their satisfaction. That way he can hopefully remain a Hornet, and if not, he can get a bag. With Rich Paul he's in Rich Paul's nest, so he'll get his bag. He'll get, Rich Paul will push for him, but Miles got to do his part this year, so he got to stay. He can't, no controversy can come from Miles this year. Be the good soldier, be the leader, and keep the people happy. And then by him doing these things, it'll ease if they want to move him up, the PR at least can be eased, because the people are happy and they say, okay, move him up. He's paid his dues, move him up. That's what I'm hoping for him. Nick Richards, a good backup to Mark Williams. Mark Williams is the starting center. He plays too good with Lamelo to come off the bench. And him and Lamelo got a connection that I've been wanting Lamelo to have with the center for a long time. So Nick Richards will
Mark Williams is safe. Mark's safe. Mark Williams is safe.
Yeah.
He was the guy. He represented the team on the lottery night. So I'm seeing a lot more representation with different players. So maybe, hopefully, the core is there. I do like Mark Williams. I think he's a guy who could be there for a while, or they could trade him. Who knows?
If Lamelo Ball, if Lamelo Ball, the franchise, got his arm around his center, the point guard, he ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Lamelo Ball got his arm around him. That's the wrap. Ain't nobody else gonna be his center. Lamelo Ball got his arms around him. And for what Lamelo does, Mark is perfect. He don't drop his passes. He's always in the position to catch his passes, regardless of where Lamelo end up. And he finishes. Plumlee and the rest of them dropped to me Lamelo's passes. It wasn't ready for his passes. Mark always knows where to be when it's time to get that pass from Lamelo Ball, either on the pick and roll or on the weak side when Lamelo goes in. When Trae Young thought he had him cooked on the island, he reached out and blocked that shot and then ran, and Lamelo passed it to him, dunked it. The end of that game, Lamelo was doing like this, laughing with him. I said, yeah, it's over with. It's over with. And Nick Richards will be off the bench, and then it'll be Miles and PJ for that 4th spot, back and forth, however that goes. Miller will have the 3, I believe. and maybe they can, maybe McGowan's or someone can, be with him on the three, because Gordon, I think, is on the clock. If those guards don't step up, Terry may stay longer, but we'll see. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a very, very good year. And JT Thor, I'm hoping they find a role for JT Thor. I like his potential. Kai Jones.
A lot of people is high on JT Thor, not just you. I'm hearing a lot of people connected with Charlotte that I don't always see it, but people are very high on. I don't know what's going on, but can you speak what you see so much in him? Because he wasn't on the Summer League roster, with everybody else.
JT Thor he's a young guy. He got length, bro. He's tall, he's lanky. He can hit that corner three now. You see what I'm saying? So he's in this NBA, he's interchangeable. He can do a 2, he can do a 3 or a 4. You know what I'm saying? He can do a 3 or a 4. He's energy. Everybody needs that energy player. He's energy. He will go in and he will dunk it. Sometimes he get lost on some plays. I noticed that. But he plays. He's getting better on defense. And you need in this NBA, if you got a Brandon Miller playing, if you want to just go into a long lineup, you can have Miller and Thor there. You can have Miller and Thor there to terrorize whoever their front court is. Or it gives Charlotte, I think, flexibility to move to. I think it gives them flexibility and everything. Kai Jones is right here. He want to be a guard when he's a big man. He want to be Victor Wembanyama. That's not who he is. Somebody said he would be the next Giannis and went to his head. Kai Jones needs to get closer to the basket and use that bounce to his advantage. The same way Clint Capella, even Collins is using. But yeah, I like JT, man. I like JT. I hope he get a chance, to grow in his role. But we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
We're going to get back to the Charlotte Hornets. What's your thoughts on what's going on with Colorado? We know you big with JSU as well. Colorado just lost. They got beat down. They got the brakes beat off of them. Deion was no stranger to say, hey, listen, man, they just get me now. Get me now. This is the worst I'm ever going to be. They got a big time matchup versus USC. Travis Hunter will miss that as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Travis is out. So that's tough. What's your thoughts before we continue? What's your thoughts on them losing? Obviously, break down him coming to Colorado and then getting off to this amazing start, but then getting just smashed a few days ago.
I don't think Deion said that they was going to go undefeated when he came to Colorado. I don't think he said that in that press conference. Number one, I think he came there and said that he was going to build the team up. I think that's what he said. Everybody was saying that they would lose this game. It was kind of projected that they wouldn't win many games this year because they was 1-11 last year. So off the bat, Colorado under Deion's, under Prime's leadership has already went past what they did last year, which that alone is a victory, But there would be some losses, There's talk about USC, Pope is big on USC. He's a USC guy, so Pope is already rolling out the casket for Colorado this week. So we'll see how it goes, But I think there's, he's there. He's a recruiting magnet. Whatever deficiencies are on that team, he will fix them, and they'll just get better over time. Shedeur, I think Shedeur could be, Shedeur is just
nice.
He has it, all of it. I mean, not just his game, but his vibe is what the NFL need, bro. They need it because the NBA got someone with a vibe called Lamelo Ball. So this is a business flight. Eyeballs. If you go to a sports store and you had money to buy a jersey and you saw Shedeur's jersey on one side, LaMelo's on the other, which one are you going to pick? The NFL want to make it hard for you to pick.
Right.
Right
This
now,
is something like that though. Like, go ahead.
right now, Lamelo with the youth, they want to pick Lamelo's jersey. But with Shador, it might have to be, that might be a pause. Because Shador got it. He just has it. So he got the game, and I think for the NFL, he got that draw, which is he can be marketed. He got just enough of that edge, but he can be marketed to the youth. He's been presented in that way. So yeah, I see, Colorado taking that. Colorado will win, either lose. I said if you could buy one, but I think they may, I don't know if they're gonna win. They may not win, but I think
Right.
overall they'll be successful. But now and because of the way Prime is, there are people who are hoping for his downfall, thinking they're gonna shut his mouth, and all this madness. It's the same madness, bro. It's like it's like we're not all prim and proper. We're not all quiet when we whoop ass, bro. That's why they hated Serena. Serena wasn't quiet when she was coming to go. She whooped on him, and she let him know. So because Deion confidently speaks and say, look, these are things that's going to happen. Nah, shut him up. He's getting too much attention, and this coming from all sides, inside and outside the tribe now. You know what I'm saying? Who want to see him fail. Just, it has nothing to do with football. It's just They want to see him fail. And I think that's unfortunate.
What about like you big on JSU as well? Obviously he departed JSU for Colorado. What was your initial thoughts? People are still upset about that. Give us your dynamic in that whole situation with him leaving JSU for Colorado. Did it hurt initially? I mean, you can keep it real.
I'm keeping it real, man. It did hurt. I was disappointed. And I spoke to my disappointment, man. It was like, because when you come to a situation, particularly in the South, I'm from Mississippi, bro. You know what I'm saying? All my bloodline flows through Mississippi. Some of it goes from here. Some of us went to LA. Some of us went to Arkansas. The rest of us went to Chicago. So, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the SIP. So when expectations were set up, right, we're going to give HBCUs a chance. We're going to be just as good as the PWIs and the Power Five, blah, 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 And so the hope of the people, they began to look again at a symbol, Deion being a symbol of something greater than himself. And they invested in that, right? So when Deion left, it was seen as a betrayal of the rise of the great rise of the HBCUs. Some of it, with how Deion, with how Prime said what he said, it led to people seeing it that way. Oh, he's going to bring HBCUs up, blah, 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 blah. So when he left, the thing about Jackson State, the Jackson State fan base and community that I really respect is that because they've had a tradition of winning for so long, there's a lot of them that are really like indifferent. And it's like, okay, Deion, you're gone. Jackson State was Jackson State before you came, baby. We're glad you came. And some of them have wished him well. Okay, Jackson. Okay, Deion, wish you well. Especially since some of the Jackson State players went with him to Colorado. Of course, you want to see, okay, let's see what they do on this level, because they were trained there at Jackson State. There's others who is like, they don't like how he left because they got their hopes up over something that they thought he would do, right? And then there are others who are disappointed. They say he ran away to the white man, blah, 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 blah. And then within that context, of course, there are those that take advantage of the emotions of the people, and they're setting up, making platforms and setting up channels to feed that type of thing, to run their numbers up. That is what it is. I won't go any further into that. But I was initially disappointed, but the youth, the culture, the tribe loves him, man. It's like, so I can say, okay, Deion, do your thing up there. The next one that comes, be sure that when you speak to us, you speak to it in a way that tempers our expectations, and you keep those expectations under control so that we won't make no mistake, which I think we should as a whole get away from anyway, this whole Messiah complex where this one man just going to do everything. The burden of the community cannot be put on one person, bro. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair to Prime. You know, that's not fair to anybody. You know,
Right.
you put it and then we sit back and watch. Prime, you should have did it. You know, no, don't do that. Do what you can in your circle to help the culture in your way, and be satisfied with that. Prime is doing his thing up there. He's a symbol, you know, of the tribe. The tribe fucks with Prime. Take it or leave it alone, man.
Right. But
Take it or leave it alone.
And he definitely upgraded JSU. I mean, they were able to keep the locker room, right?
They was able to keep everything. You know, there's
Right,
a lot of things.
There's
There's a lot of things that was said. You know, there's a lot of things that was said back and forth about that in the fog of war. A lot of stuff was said back and forth. You know what I'm saying? He brought players there. You know what I'm saying? He brought an energy there to JSU. JSU is more traditional. Like TC Taylor, the coach now, he's more traditional. You know, he's not going to do all the things that Deion was doing, you know, because he's more of a traditional HBCU coach. So he's more low key, more lunch pail type coach, which is not a bad thing, you know. So now they're working on their recruiting again. The games aren't as easy as they was in the past. They lost some games, you know, they barely won this last game. So the games aren't as easy. And this year may be a down year for JSU because they have to retool their recruiting and everything. And JSU is still a draw. And for HBCUs, JSU is one of the top draws for HBCU. So they'll get their talent. JSU will get their talent, and they'll continue to be the Sonic Boom of the South. This year just may be a down year for JSU, you know, but I expect them to bounce back. They'll be winning. Colorado will be winning. Everybody's happy. Period. Right. No crocodile tears over damn Deion leaving. Stop that.
Right. You know, like I said, he definitely did a lot. What do you think about the money and stuff like that? Can you, like, just realistically, you got Deion, he's at JSU doing amazing things, and obviously there's some financial limitations, but Colorado, they offer in the bag. I mean, what do you think about that dynamic?
They offered the bag and then they raised it.
See? I mean,
there's
a point where you're all giving a number that you can't refuse.
Bruh, the man said to Deion, "We don't have the money." I roasted that. I said, "Deion, you ran up there and they don't even have the money for you, bro. How could you do it?" And then they just put the word out to the alums and supporters, and they raised every penny. The man said, "We don't have it now, but we will have it." And their word was bond on that, bro. They raised all that money and gave it to him. I said, okay. I yielded. I said, I yielded when I saw that. And they're talking about, because they want to keep him there long term. I don't know if they can be able to keep Deion there, Brian there long term. They're talking about raising another like $20 or $30 million to keep him there long term. They want him to stay there long term. They don't want Deion to leave Colorado.
Do you think he's going to be there past Shador and Travis and his kids? That's going to be the magic plan. Because what if an NFL team come calling? You heard what he said.
He said he wasn't. Didn't he say he wasn't coming? He wasn't going?
He reiterated it not too long ago, too. But what if it was a situation that presented itself for him to coach?
He can coach Shador in the NFL?
Yes.
That would be hard to. That's something that'd be hard to resist, bro. But see that the politics of the NFL. The politics of the NFL.
He knows that too.
I'm wary of the politics of the NFL. Bro. I'm very wary of them. The NFL politics is terrible. You know, Tobin, you know, out of Pittsburgh has been able to survive for a long time. You know what I'm saying? The only one, like as far as black coaches. You know, good record, but they talking about firing Tobin every year, even though damn near Pittsburgh has rarely been out of the playoffs under his leadership, you know. So the politics of the NFL, I worry about if they move him up, right? Because of the way he is, right? You know, if he becomes a certain way and, you know, he begins to move and threaten the other coaches that, you know, have always been established as the winning coaches, you know, with the way he does it, I don't think that, I think Deion, I think Prime may stay put unless, like you said, unless he has a chance to coach Shador. That is going to be an interesting choice he has to make, but the politics in the NFL is different. The college, I think he got more room, but in the NFL, you know, I think it's different. There's already mouthpieces from the NFL, dogging Deion out. These are NFL. Some of these media, they're all mouthpieces. for these big organizations. So some of the sports writers and mouthpieces are already, throwing shade at Deion indirectly or directly, So that he has to think about that too, man, because the microscope will be even larger if he goes to the NFL than it is now. Crazy as it is.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said the Broncos need a franchise QB.
No shit, no. The Bulls. The Bears need one. Shadua, come to Chicago, baby.
Well, the Bears is trash. I don't know what's going on. You're a Chicago fan. Well, they look bad right now with this dude Fields. He's not it. What's going on with him, man? Y'all making my man up there for the Giants look good.
Talk about the man look. It's like for the first time the Bears actually invested in the black quarterback. Because it's been a long time, bro.
Yeah, he was talking crazy during the offseason too. Like he was talking like he was my man out there in Baltimore, my man Lamar Jackson. He gonna throw for 4,000 yards. Now he was talking wild.
Yeah, man. So the Bears, man, I'm at the wait. I think the Bears may go into the lottery, man. The Bears ain't gonna win no games. Hopefully we can get a good pick and Fields may have to be shipped out. We need a new quarterback. I
don't know what's going on. You got Zach Wilson up there in New York. He's stinking up the joint, for the Jets. I don't know what's going on with these young quarterbacks. What's going on?
No Giants? Huh? No Giants?
I rock with the Giants, but I was really rocking with the Jets this year, and but unfortunately Rodgers got hurt. I was definitely looking forward to working with the Jets, but I still may dibble and dabble. But the Rodgers dynamic, it just deflated all the air out the tank, And you got Zach Wilson. I thought he was gonna shock the world because I love underdogs, So I thought Zach was an underdog. I was getting behind him, but he just made a complete fool out of me. He's out here. He's just as bad. You got, I think somebody just came out and said they need to trade him. So a Jets legend too. I was just looking at that before we did this. I forgot who the hell it was, but they're calling for him to get the hell out of town.
Yeah. And once that Bears fan base turn on you, it's a wrap. Chicago is a sports town. Like, I believe we love you. We love hard. Pause. But if you ain't doing what you should, you are out. There will be pressure.
Right.
There will be pressure. Especially because Chicago lost to Green Bay. That can't happen.
Yeah. That's a big loss.
Yes. Do not lose to Green Bay and come back to Chicago. Don't do that.
Right.
I remember Lovie Smith, and I'm going to stop. Lovie Smith, when he was coaching the Bears didn't have a good team that year. Lovie Smith said, we don't have a good team this year. He said, but I can guarantee you this. And they said, what? He said, we're going to beat the Packers. And the Bears team didn't have a good record that year, but they beat the Packers both times. The Chicago fans base was satisfied. Losing to the Packers, that's a rival.
Yeah.
Even your boy said it. Thanks for keeping it on. Thanks for keeping it going. Even Rodgers from the Jets, tweeted it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
That thing is strong, bro. Go ahead, like.
He rocked with Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. I think he's a good player. I think he's gonna do something. He's showing some strides that your guy isn't showing just yet. But like I said, I think it's gonna all work itself out. Let's get to the Chicago Bulls one time. Obviously that's another team out there. I got Lonzo Ball, ZO2, the Chino Hills prodigy. That's my guy, man. It's very unfortunate. You don't wish injuries on nobody. You can't do anything about it. What's your thoughts on Lonzo enduring another year of this situation? It seems like it is optimism. Lonzo was out and about this offseason more than he's ever been. He's not moving like a guy that is all she wrote. Right. It seemed like somebody told him something. The way he was moving, but yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to have a heart and a head conversation on this now. Okay. When Lonzo was leaving from the Pelicans, I wanted him to come to my Bulls. I did. Because at first I thought he'd be the part of a big three with Vooch, Levine, and Lonzo. That was before they went and got DeMar DeRozan, right? Then I said, for Lonzo to Lonzo needs to, I said, for Lonzo's stats and for his stat line and for his production, the better place for him to go to for that is Boston at that time, right? It could have been Lonzo, Brown, and Tatum in Boston. He could have been a part of a big three there. And that way, Lonzo can, or because Boston needed a point guard, Lonzo can orchestrate the team. He is the best playmaker on that team. You know, damn near on any team, he'll be the best playmaker on any team he's on. And he can get his stats up where, you know, he can get stats so we can start collecting hardware in his cabinet. You know, that was the head conversation. The heart conversation, come to my Bulls. Come to my Bulls. I want you on my Bulls. You know, but I knew him coming to the Bulls would mean that he would have to sacrifice some of his game to fit with the team because the Bulls already had 3 All-Stars on the team. So Lonzo's fit was perfect because his playmaking, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are scorers, but they're not playmakers, man. They're not. Vooch isn't either. Lonzo's a playmaker, right? And now with his 3-point percentage was up at like 42%. So he was a playmaker and a sniper. So you couldn't leave him open. But with all the activity that was going on with DeRozan, Vooch, and LaVine, Lonzo was left open a lot. And he would hit that 3. He'll make you pay. And he orchestrated the team, the speed of the team, you know, and he play made. So he was the one that was keeping it moving. He was the engine that my team was moving. So
he was getting shots off the dribble too. I don't mean to cut you off. It wasn't just corner shots. He was off the dribble with some of the shit too. Step backs.
Yeah, step backs off the dribbles. He too short at a few people. You know, he was doing all of it, right? You know, and with him not necessarily being the focal point of defense, he was free to flow. You know, free to play defense. You know, so. When he, you know, the Bulls was at the top, you know, the Bulls was at the top of the league. I'm saying, oh, my Bulls, we finna do it. I'm ready to go live, talk shit. You know, it's like, then he got hurt. It's like, okay. And it's that knee, you know, it's like, then the Bulls, I thought, okay, maybe the Bulls can still survive. The Bulls fell like a rock out of the playoffs for 2 consecutive years. You know, Lonzo made that team go. Even though my Bulls is running it back this year, I think I just, without a dynamic point guard, I don't think they can do it. I don't think Kobe White cannot replace what Lonzo brought to the table. We can't do it. No one can. So I think that the Bulls and the ownership up there, they don't like spending money and not winning. Ryan stores are cheap as hell. So if they don't do it this year, if they don't at least make the playoffs or something, that team's going to be broken up. They're on the clock. I think the Bulls should build around Patrick Williams. You know, I think that's the future of the Bulls. It is Patrick Williams. He's still young. He's, you know, I think that he should get more burn. I think that's the future of my Bulls. I think DeRozan, you know, DeRozan is on the clock. DeRozan needs to get a ring. You know, he's on the other side of 30 now. You know, he needs to get a ring. You know, LaVine, I think, is on the clock too. So Lonzo going down and rehabbing, another head and heart thing. Lonzo Ball, and he's going to try to come back. He's going to look to come back. I worry. Yeah, Patrick Williams. I worry about his quality of life, right? Because if you all saw Brandon, how Brandon, and this is knock on wood, you saw Brandon Roy was walking around. I don't want to see that for Lonzo, man. It's like, part of me is like, you know, I'm not saying to quit. I'm just saying you did well. You can do other things to be successful. Lonzo's doing tours, earn your leisure. He's doing all that stuff, you know, but Lonzo's going to, he's going to push to come back. And I just hope he's careful on his return. And I hope he don't try to push it too hard. I'm hoping he just get in and just work his way and, you know, start being a productive ball player, you know, then work his way up, you know, back up to where he was. If his body can take it, I don't want him to come back flight. Then a few games in or whatever, something happens. It's like, you know, I want him to ease himself back in and work himself up when he comes through and don't push himself. I'm not saying to play scared, but he may have to adjust the way Derrick Rose did, man. You know, he can still keep, you know, some of his instincts regardless. some of these things don't require athleticism and stuff like that. So that'll always be intact, but he may have to pick his spots on defense. He can't go all out on defense. Maybe he may have to pick his spots on defense. You know what I'm saying? Pick his spot even when he runs. Sometimes he may have to let other people run so he won't with this season the way it is, so he won't overtax his body. He may even have to load manage, man. He may have to. I know that's a dirty word, but he may have to do that. But we'll see. I'm hoping if he chooses to return, which I believe he will, that he takes his time and he does it because that's what he want to do. And he takes his time and play himself back into, a productive role. And if he can get to the point where he's an all-star and stuff like that, then he can go there, but take his time. That's what I say to that, Flight.
Right, man. Same here, man. I hope that he comes back 100% healthy, not 50%, not 75%.
Yeah, I don't want him to rush.
Yeah, I want him to be able to put some weight, on the leg and do things. I don't think Lonzo ever was a guy jumping out the building. Obviously,
no, he never was.
He never did that. So I think that his game would still be effective, playmaking and things of that nature, getting up and down the floor. I think he still could be able to do that. You've seen Rose be able to do that. Obviously, it's two different situations, but we got to see how the recovery is on this. I don't think you have all these surgeries for nothing.
Right.
But if the plan is to keep him out the whole season, I hope that's the case, because I heard Stephen A. Smith, when they was having a little back and forth, I heard him say something like he's supposed to miss up into January. No. So first it was the whole season. Now I'm hearing January. It's like that seems like another episode what they did to us before. I think if they're gonna nip it in the bud, nip it in the bud. I'm gonna go with AK said. AK went up there and said that Lonzo's out for the season. I'm not gonna go on what Stephen A said, even though he got his sources.
No, Lonzo should wait till next season.
Right.
Take his time and work himself back in, and then just work himself back in stages. You don't need to rush back.
Right. I want to shift real quick, shortly. Shout out to everybody in the building. I want to talk about the Austin Rivers dynamic that happened a few days ago. Rivers came out. He was on a podcast with The Ringer. Miles responded. He's just talking about Lamelo being surrounded by troubled youth and things of that nature. Clearly, I felt like he was discussing Miles. Maybe you could throw out Book Night in there as well. What was that whole situation like when you heard that coming from Mr. Rivers?
I would say yes and no. If you're talking about, not only is it the first, like I said, a reset for Lamelo, it's a reset for the Hornets. Whatever was going on with the Hornets ended when Michael Jordan sold that team. The Hornets is under new management now. Now, new management has to decide how they deal with Kai Jones, how they deal with whatever, they can bring Book Night into the office just to see, okay, where is he at? You understand what I'm saying? And I think that the new ownership needs room to deal with that because, Michael left some things behind for them to deal with. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. So whatever Austin Rivers was talking about, which I don't believe is completely false, right? I think that they were settled down with Gordon Hayward, man. They were settled down, and they were settled down with Gordon Hayward. They didn't really make no hard hitting moves. Mitch is known to be conservative. And Michael Jordan's style of leadership did not prompt Mitch to make those type of moves. It is what it is, where you had, things going on with Malik Monk, Dwayne Bacon, James Book Night, now Kai Jones, and, LaMelo Ball being looked off, Plumlee bringing the ball up, running past LaMelo, you know what I'm saying? Him not having the ball. That's, I think, what Austin Rivers meant, people taking away from his game, forwards, instead of circling the ball back to LaMelo Ball, they want to do an ISO right quick. They don't have that game turning the damn ball over and over again, without there seeming to be any type of correction from the coach. Yet LaMelo Ball throws a throws a saucy pass, you know, whether he connects or not, he's sitting on the bench for the rest of the damn period, you know. So all that dysfunction had to go. So with a new leadership, now they are going through all that right now, you know. So I'm going to wait and see. I'm looking to see what's going on with Kai Jones. I'm not sure if something's going on with him or if he's just trolling. You know, when PJ was re-signed, that's when he kind of went off. So I want to see what they do with him. That's a sign. That's a sign of how they're going to deal with other young players. You know, I also want to see what they're going to see, how they're going to what they're going to do with James Bouknight. Are they going to bring him in? You know, are they going to give him a chance? Steve Clifford is high on James Bouknight. He is. He said he's starter level talent. You know, will he get that chance? You know, and if he gets that chance, will Book cook? You know, that's you know, will he be able to cook? Will he get over his mental hurdles to cook? He's from New York, man. Come on now, you know. So
you still believe in Book Night? I heard that slogan, "Let Book cook."
That's from yours truly.
I'm on the road. Oh, you started that?
Yours truly, baby.
I see, you know, I seen some shirts, some hoodies, and things of that nature over there. But but you started that. Shout out to the chief. You know, pay homage. You know, he brought a lot of waves. You know, so it's crazy. Let Book cook. I hope that he does. It's tough with Book Night. I liked him, but he struggled in the summer league as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was the time for him to take it to the next level. Yeah. And he was just one of the guys, just looking lost.
It could be a Markelle Fultz situation. Like Markelle,
you need to get moved. I like to see him in San Antonio.
I think Book should go to another team so he can get a fresh start. I think he should get out of Charlotte. Yeah. I think he just need a new team wherever he goes. A new team, a team where they will give him a chance. You know, that believes in his skill.
I think they need a little bit more discipline. I'm not saying that Charlotte don't have any discipline, but I think that you got some strong-minded guys like Lamelo. I think he disciplined himself, you know, things of that nature. I think he need to go somewhere where there's more infrastructure, you know, for him in place, where there's more leadership. I'm trying to think, maybe, I don't know about New Orleans is a possibility, Miami, teams that's well insulated.
Yeah. Miami, he could use it. Miami would be perfect for James.
Shit, you could probably get him for cheap up there with the Suns. You know, Phoenix can get their hands on him for nothing. You know, LA, the Lakers, you know, a team like that.
Yeah, you know, even the Clippers.
The Clippers, because he's got the talent. It just somebody just got to bring it out of him because he's a first round pick.
Yeah, a top pick, man.
Yeah,
he's showing signs. You know, again, he needs to be in a different environment with more, you know, vets and things like that. They was talking about bringing vets in for Charlotte, but then they turned around and said Miles can be the vet. Miles and Lamelo can be the leaders of the team. So, you know, the team's gonna grow with Miles and Lamelo. That's how it's gonna be.
Right.
You know, so that's how I see it.
No, all right. Last but not least, what you think about Liangelo Ball, G3, G Honcho? You know, there's a lot of things going on with him. He went through some injuries. I don't know if you've seen the internet. It's looking like he back with LeVar. I think all of that is a master plan in place. You know, LeVar Ball is a hell of a. Obviously, they're doing some stuff, but I think it's some good promo as well to get Jello out there. And they had a lot of people talking. Big media outlets picked it up. Bleacher Report reposted it, and like I said, it got a lot of people talking. I want to see what happens with Liangelo Ball. Where do you see it coming? First, you heard a situation with him possibly going to New Zealand. We all know the Greensboro's out the question. Where does he go? And then I want to get your thoughts on what the hell happened in Charlotte for Liangelo, because something went wrong.
So for Jello, number one, congrats on the young son. That complicates things a little bit. You got a family now. It's different. The energy is different. You know, Jello needs to cook somewhere outside of an isolated gym. He has to. You know, and time is fleeting, bro. Time waits on nobody. The more time passes, You got the Scoot Hendersons. You got these other ones coming through who want the same thing. You know, if there's a chance for Jello to go overseas, this is my opinion, I think he needs to jump on it and go. He will bring the attention. He's a ball. You know, LeVar set it up that wherever his sons are, there will be attention drawn to them, regardless of where they are. I was hoping for the New Zealand situation. I was hoping for it. You know, I was disappointed. I felt like, you know, I think that certain things should have been kept more closer to the vest on that situation. I think, you know, and I think that I'm not saying that altered the deal flight, but what I'm saying is that the GM came out and said, well, I didn't know, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, this is what I'm talking about, you know. So keep that to the vest, brother. Keep that to the vest. Don't say it yet. Not just yet. Just wait a little more. Just wait a little bit more. You want him in that uniform first before you start saying that, you know. So I don't know what happened with New Zealand, because I think that would have been perfect, because it's the NBL. It's a respected league. It is the league that Lamelo came out of. You know what I'm saying? And so his work, Jello's work in that league would not be dismissed. You know, if he went up there and he cooked, his cooking couldn't be dismissed. You know, because the NBL is a league that is legitimately recognized by the NBA to get talent from. Josh Giddey, you know, of course, Lamelo came through there, you know, and other players. You know, NBL is a league that they'll look into, right? So I want him out there to cook. I'm good with whatever Jello decides to do or what he does, whether it's basketball or whatever. You know, he'll be successful. You know, if it's basketball, then I want him to cook somewhere. He needs to cook somewhere so that now eyes can get on him, so that you can create the demand for him. Because I don't want him. The one thing that disappointed me about the way Greensboro handled him, I saw a lot of, you know, Brian Scalabrine out of Boston.
Oh, of course.
Towards the end of the game, how Boston would always call for Brian Scalabrine to come out.
Of course.
I saw some of that in Greensboro with Jello, and I said, no, I don't want that. I don't want that energy towards Jello. I don't want him to be getting called upon to come out in the last part of the game. I don't want that from Jello, because I don't think that's fair to Jello. You know, I want him to cook. Now, whatever was going on in Greensboro, you know, he got there, you know. Now we'll debate over whether he got a fair chance or not to cook, whether it's on the field. In practice, you know, what was going on in practice, you know, what was happening that made it where he wouldn't be able to get more time on the floor. You know, what was going on in the locker room, right? One of the things I said, and one of the things I said is that when Jello, baby, when you go down there, make sure that you are of the energy. People, because it is, unfortunately, because it is the VAR, because it's the Suns, there is a built-in envy baked into the cake. It is what it is. It's just the way of people. So I did not want I wanted there to be a way with Jello when he went there. Yes, my brother's Lamelo. Yes, he is the rising star of this franchise and city. Yes, he's not a franchise player. But I am here, even though maybe him being there made it where I could come here. I got a game myself. You know what I'm saying? I am worthy. You know what I'm saying? Not to prove to anybody else, but for the politics of the locker room. Yeah, Jello's the guy. Then that way, when certain times when he was being looked off, when he was open, the pass would have came to him. You know, when there's other times when he wasn't being looked for, he'll be looked for. You know, some point guards did. There was one that did look for Jello. Others didn't. You know, now the attitude, you know, I saw certain things in the chats. You know, sometimes the Balliverse, I'm not saying this channel, you know, I'm just saying just the whole community I'm talking about. Like, we get sometimes in the zeal to push Jello out there. I saw some of the Greensboro Swarms chats flooded with people saying play Jello, but trashing the rest of those players on that team. And I said, oh no, that makes it hard for Jello. Those players see that stuff. One even alluded to it in the press conference, you know. So that doesn't help Jello. When push for him to play, but don't trash his teammates, because that creates, now Jello has to clean that up. And I felt like all around, I think that all of us could have did a better job in pushing Jello without alienating the people that could help push him on one side. And on the other, like I said, I don't know what was going on in that practice. You know, I don't know if what was going on. I know Jello's, you know, we all know Jello's a shooter. What else was he doing? You know, in this, was he, you know, hustling, hustling on defense, doing these other things that get the eye of the coach, you know what I'm saying? You know, get the eye of the players, you know. So I don't know what was going on with that. You know, obviously after 2 years, Jello was out of Greensboro, you know, and now he's moving on to, it has to be, but it can't just be one run, Stem. It has to be consistent, man. You know, some of these things some of that is on Greensboro, but some of that was on Jello as well. You know what I'm saying? And so I won't make no bones about it. You know, so again, I think that at this stage, he needs to go somewhere to a league that's respected, quote unquote, by the NBA. I think he needs to leave the walls of the United States and go and cook somewhere, and then circle back to the United States. But that'll mean one or two things, like that means that that means either he's going to be away from his family, you know, or he's going to have to bring his son and his lady with him. Now, you know how this is. If she don't want to go, I'm staying here. I don't want to go over there. Then it's like, okay, now what you going to do? Because it's a different single. Jello can pop up and go anytime. If she don't want to go, okay, baby, you don't have to go. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you really want to go? You ain't rocking with me? Okay, then you can rock with somebody else. I'll get another lady. But here, he got a baby attached. It's different. It's different now. You know, so the first major choice that Jello has to make as a man. You know, it's an interesting choice he has to make, right? You see what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah. So salute to all y'all in the chat. The chat says whatever happened to competing for a roster spot instead of giving it. I think that's true. I think that Jello, it was tough to see. You brought up like alienating some of the other players on the team. It's rough when you had the Jalen Crutches of the world and some of the other people. It seemed like they was getting more of an opportunity than Jello couldn't. And also, even when the preseason, when Jello was actually on the roster, he never got a chance to play alongside Melo. It seemed like Jalen Crutcher, these guys got more minutes. Even going back to Greensboro, the Crutches of the world, they received more playing time and more of a role with the Greensboro Swarm. Jello was on the roster for the preseason as well. I felt like he should have took a little more precedence when it came to the regular season for Greensboro, but that didn't happen.
Politics. Jello is a walk-on, bro. Those other players were drafted.
Yeah.
He was a walk-on. He was far removed. He was too far removed from college. He was a walk-on. So he has to work through, you know what I'm saying? They're invested in the draft pick over, so he has to cook. You know, and even if he didn't, you know, it's like, so that's why I'm saying again, it's like, I don't want to see Jello in no gym by himself. I need him to cook. And I'm not talking about the Drew League. I'm not talking about no Rico Hines. I need him to cook somewhere where they say, oh, yeah, them Australians don't play. Or whatever, in New Zealand, whoever. They don't play about this. They don't play about that hooping, and Jello's cooking them. Yeah, come on back home. Because Jello has too much of a damn draw for them not to have him if he can cook. Jello doesn't have to be no superstar. He just has to show he can cook.
That's it. And then, you know, these seasons end early, and then he can come back for the tail end of the season.
All he needs to do is to cook. Just cook. Cook a little bit. I'm not talking about becoming no gold overnight. Just cook, Jello.
Yeah. He's gonna get a role over there. They're gonna give him the ball.
Business wise, bro, huh?
They're gonna give him the ball over there.
Yeah, they will give him the ball because the politics ain't over there the way it is here in America, bro. Hating, brother. It's a team that brings him in is more invested in him than somebody thinking he's just there because of his brother. It's a different animal. Giannis is learning that this year. You noticed this, right?
Yeah, Giannis is crazy.
That ride is about to be over for the Nazis and damn Costas. That ride is about to be over for them, bro.
Yeah, Giannis is definitely in trouble. Giannis, he on the clock.
Alex came and went. Alex, they took Alex one day and waved him the next. That's a message to Giannis. Costas and Thanasis, enjoy it while you can, because you both are about to be up out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if Giannis leaves. Giannis is not. That's not going to be no 3-package deal, bro. Giannis will go by himself.
And then they losing in the first round and shit too. It's not a good look. They got your whole family here. Y'all lost in the first round in Miami.
Yeah, you can get away with that ring.
How the hell you got Jimmy Butler out here outplaying you? I just think that's some bad luck.
No. So yeah.
And I really like Jimmy Butler, but he shouldn't be outplaying Giannis.
No, he shouldn't be.
Not in the postseason. You know, you just did they get swept?
I think they did. Did they? I think they did. It's about the heart in the postseason, bro.
Yeah.
It's about the heart. It's about the heart.
Yeah, it's crazy. Somebody said, Kobe said, it's not Gemini. You're probably going to see your name. Yeah, so shout out to Coffee in the chat. Yeah, I guess he want to lose.
So
there you go. Like I said, it's wild with all that, but I definitely do want to see that happen. The general manager out there was very high on him. You know, he spoke and said that he would love to see him there. Was a talk about Brownie possibly coming. There was a lot of different things, you know, said about that. You know, so it's crazy. We got the NBA season upcoming. Any surprise teams, you know, that we might need to look out for?
For basketball?
Yeah.
For the East, I would say it depends on what they. I like. There's a few teams. I like what Detroit is doing. I like what they're putting together in Detroit.
I like Detroit.
Watch Detroit. They push Cade, but really, I think that Arcir and Durant and Ivy. You know, Cade they push, but I think really Arcir Thompson, Jaden Ivey, and Jaden Durant. I think
that Thompson twin is no joke out there in Detroit. I like that dude was a problem. If Cade Cunningham could be healthy, they're gonna be good.
If Cade could be healthy, but Cade. We'll see. If they try to put him at the point, I think that's a mistake. Cade can be a 0.3.
So you don't want to be a point?
Arcir should be running the point, bro.
I don't know, man. They drafted Cade Cunningham to be the point guard.
But they got Arcir. Detroit has a good problem.
Yeah.
They have a good problem. I don't know how they're going to squeeze in Wiseman and all that, but Detroit has a good problem.
Yeah,
with Marvin Bagley, Detroit has, and Isaiah Stewart, they have a very good problem in Detroit.
Yeah, they gave what's the name all that money. So let's see what the coach. Let's see what they're gonna do.
So
Detroit, they're gonna be in the mix with Charlotte as well. I think teams like them, Orlando.
Yeah, it's gonna be Orlando. I like what they're doing. Their front court is set. They need a dynamic guard down there.
Yeah, that's good. They get that, it's over.
They just need a guard. They just need a good playmaking. They don't need they need a playmaking point guard because they got everything else down there in Orlando. So I like what Orlando's doing. You know, Miami's on the clock. Jimmy's on the clock, man. You know, Charlotte, I say be a watch for Charlotte. And believe it, I hate to say this, you know, I want to see Indiana shadowing Charlotte and how they're building around Tyrese Halliburton.
Indy. Yeah, they looking to move. You heard what's going on with Buddy Hield.
They're looking to move Hield. I think that's going to be a mistake. I think
if they move Hield, probably trying to get Mather in some more minutes.
But can he shoot like Buddy Hield?
That is true. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's something going on with Carlisle. He's screwing things up.
Yeah, you know, Carlisle does that, you know, because they got Obi Toppin, they got Miles Turner, that's Miles Bridges and then Mark Williams. They got Halliburton, they got Held as their shooter. You know what I'm saying? You know, I thought they would be building on that, but you know, so Detroit, Indiana, Orlando, like the young teams in Charlotte. You know, I like to see that. What's going on with Brooklyn Nets, though, man? Ben talking now. What's happening?
Yeah, Ben. I mean, listen. I think he had one of them Justin Fields moments. But what I will say is, they have a team. I like the pieces that they got from Dallas. Obviously, I like Bridges. Bridges is nice. Now I think that if he wants to run the point guard position, you got weapons all over the place. So if he could somehow rekindle some of the old magic, you know, remember this dude was a multiple time All-Star. So at one point there he was looked at very highly. Yeah. So I don't know what happened. You know, this is probably worse than Westbrook, where we've seen somebody just fall from grace like this. You know, Boston gonna be nice. I like Porzingis. I'm not a big fan of Porzingis, but I like him out there. What do you mean? Why?
The dogs are gone from Boston. Flight. Who's the dog up there now?
Smart. I mean,
Grant Williams and Smart are gone, bro. Grant Williams is in Dallas and Smart is in Memphis now.
Well, that's when you got to go. Brown
outside of Robert Williams III. Who else could be the dog?
Well, listen, how much they gave Brown? How much money? I mean, he better be every goddamn thing up there.
I'm just saying, bro. The
Brown better
dogs are gone.
Well, Brown better be able to fill in all the roles. They gave enough money.
And Brogdon is mad.
They ready to get his ass up out of there too.
Brogdon is mad now, bro. He mad.
Yeah, right.
I'm a point guard.
Yeah, well, you know what? You know what's going on right now in the NBA? Breaking news on Damian Lillard. And it's not just like, well, no, it's not done. It's not done. No. I just said it was breaking news.
Okay.
It was this today. It's reports saying that he should be. Executives believe he'll be traded by Monday. So it's going to be interesting to see where he lands. And Miami is not the only team out there for his services. I'm hearing Masai Ujiri is putting Grady on the table. You know, so they not playing. This dude Masai come in and swoop in and steal him from Pat Riley. And other teams have better packages, but you have a situation where Dame only wants to go to Miami. I'm hearing that Portland is not even engaged in any talks with the Miami Heat right now. They just hear from other teams right now. So Toronto is on there, and I mean, that's like I said, the team we was just discussing, man, that needs a point guard. It's so much. Damian Lillard could shift the balance. Where do you see Damian Lillard, you know, when it's all said and done?
Two things. One, if Masai can't do it. He's done it before. So, you know, that's not a bad team in Toronto. He got a nice squad up there, and they need it since Van Vliet went down to Houston, which I think was a mistake. Oh. You know, he can be up there. He can lead that team. He might pull a Kawhi in Toronto if he ends up there. You know, if there are other teams they could beat
Miami. They could beat. Listen, we know Boston. There's always something wrong with them. Milwaukee is a joke. The East could be had in Toronto.
The East is open. If you go to Toronto, Cleveland, Garland, Garland and Mitchell. That's a short backcourt. I think that
you should have went to New York.
Mitchell. I heard Mitchell was one to come up there to New York. Man,
no, he didn't really want to come to New York. He was. Well, see, you gonna see what's going on with Dame. Dame said, "I want to go to Miami." What he was doing was he was sitting back, just not saying anything, like just open to be moved wherever they was gonna move him. And that's what happened to him. They moved him somewhere, and they lost to the Knicks. I'm happy that the Knicks beat them. I was happy because
Brunson abused both of them, man.
Both of them. He should have came to play with Brunson. And if I'm the New York Knicks, man, I put R.J. Barrett on the table. I go get Damian Lillard. I try to pair him with Jalen Brunson because they was gonna do something like that with Mitchell. Do it with Dame.
They can get away with Brunson, guys. They can get away with that with Brunson because
Brunson
was just
was
too
good.
big. He was too big for both of them. He bullied both of them. He bullied both of them.
Yeah, Brunson,
Randall got to take a step back, and I was like,
I don't like Julius. I'm tired of Julius. I'm getting tired of Julius. Julius is getting on my nerves because he plays good in the regular season, and when we need him, he's nowhere to be found. But he could get us, to the playoffs. That's one thing I'm saying he can ensure. But once he get there, it's like we don't know what happened to him.
He got to take a step back though.
They got to trade Julius. They got to get out of that.
Julius move on.
Yeah, they need to get out of that mess with Julius because it's like he goes to the playoffs and flops. They need to not worry about it. They send that to another team, and let's just deal with the Knicks we have here and move on from this Julius shit. Because it's gonna be the same story every year. The Knicks look good in the regular season. They fighting. Once they get to the playoffs, everything fails. They got to get Brunson a co-star. RJ Barrett, we got to figure out what we're gonna do with him. If he's not the guy, it's time to trade him. Because you have Ja Morant, you have Zion. If he can't be somewhere in that realm, as the third, solidified, let's just get him up out of here. He should have been the all-star. He should be a go-to scorer for the New York Knicks. There's a lot of things that RJ should be, and he's not.
Speaking of Zion, let's shift to the West right quick.
Let's go.
Zion, two things motivates young men: a daughter and a bit of concubine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Zion should have a candle on his backside. Zion, when he's right, Zion could be an MVP. He could be MVP. Zion had the Pelicans on top of the West before he fell. Not Brandon. Zion was doing some of this stuff without Brandon Ingram. I think Zion is going to come with an edge. I like the edge that he had last year. I want to continue to have that edge. They gave Luka. They given Luka Doncic of someone like Grant Williams. Just give now adding dogs around that team with him and Kyrie. Is going up a little bit more. Oklahoma City Thunder, like someone said in the chat, I like what they're putting together. I like what they're putting together. Wemby is not going to win a lot of games this year. Wemby's going to be better. Wembanyama's going to have a target on his back. Also with Dame, in order for them to roll out Scoot Henderson, Dame got to be up out of Portland anyway. They can't roll him out. They can't roll Scoot Henderson out.
Scoot coming off the bench.
Huh?
If Dame is there, Scoot coming off the bench.
Scoot is coming off the bench because they cannot roll out no backcourt they cannot roll out a backcourt of Damian Lillard and Scoot Henderson in the West. They can't do that. They won't win in the West.
Yeah, that's true. That's gonna be worse. That's gonna be worse than him and CJ.
Yeah, it won't happen. So because in that lineup, when they go and play Dallas, Luka is gonna cook whoever is guarding him back there, and Kyrie.
I was about to say that, yeah.
So
Luka's gonna post them. Both of them could post.
Yeah, Luka's gonna post both of them up. You can't get away with two short guards in this league no more, man. You can't. I call the unicorns now. Tall guards, dynamic guards. Like Luka, like Lamelo. Like Lonzo. Tall guards. If you have a short guard, one short guard, that's it. Not two. The West is interesting, bro, because the Lakers are tooling up.
Yeah.
The Lakers are tooling up as well as Phoenix and Golden State. Dwight Howard. Oh, and you got the Nuggets. The Lakers somebody needs to get Dwight Howard. He was the only one that played Jokic.
Yeah, somebody got to get Dwight Howard. They're tripping not getting
just
Dwight.
Just for defensive purposes. If
somebody gonna get their hands on Dwight. It's gonna be somebody.
So the West is interesting. Golden State think they got another run in them. LeBron has figured out Steph. KD saved Steph. LeBron figured them out after that next run.
Listen, Steph Curry. Yeah, Steph Curry can't deal with LeBron James. They're not. He can't. They need Durant. They need somebody else.
Durant going back. Durant can't go back. He can't. He got to win in Phoenix. He got to. Durant. See, some of these players now, as LaMelo, some of these only Ja Morant and some of the other Zion, Tatum, They're coming up now. It's like Kawhi's on the clock, bro. He got rings. If you want any more, he's on the clock. LeBron is on the clock. KD is on the clock. Steph, they need to collect. Jimmy's on the clock. He don't have no ring. He needs to get a ring. He can't delay. DeMar DeRozan, they got to get a ring. Some of the older stars with rings, they got to get a ring. They got to get those rings. Also, Houston, Ime Udoka is going to be a big difference for Houston, man. I think that they could have had Amin start at the point down there, but I think Ime Udoka is going to be excellent coaching those young guys. He leads men. You see what I'm saying? So he'll be good for those guys. And Van Vliet is a good veteran for them. He's already taken Jalen Green on his wing, and you got Minnesota. You got Anthony Edwards there in Minnesota, along with Cat. It's like Cat may have to be moved. Just give the team to Anthony, build around him completely.
They need to figure out what they're gonna do.
Yeah, Cat is just he just want to shoot threes. I don't like that.
They gave up.
The skill that he got. Stop.
They gutted the organization behind Karl Anthony Towns. That move wasn't for Anthony Edwards. That was for Towns when they got Gobert. It was so he could play out in the perimeter. They gave up a lot for that. So they're gonna leave Anthony Edwards. They're gonna have to trade Karl Anthony Towns to recoup some of those assets that they lost.
They're gonna have to. Cat needs to go to another team.
Yeah, they got to be first rounders.
Where he can go and shoot all day. Man, he is too skilled to be on the 3-point line, man. He is too skilled to be out there like that, But
he need to get with somebody who teach him back to the basket, just playing like a big man, just controlling the paint. Like he need to be like AD.
He can do that. He got the skill to do that.
AD don't always want to control the paint either, but when you see he did that, that just passed last year, and they took off. You got to play big.
AD's his health. He was cooking for a stretch. He was cooking the league. AD. He cooked Giannis twice. He gave Giannis the business twice before he went down. But if the Lakers going to win, they got to flow through AD. It has to.
Yeah, I just think they're going to be in for it, man. Especially going up against these teams. I don't know about Denver, and then obviously Phoenix. So
yes,
it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be interesting. This season is going to be a very good season all around. The East is open, man. All the ring holders in the West, except for Giannis. The East is open to be taken. The East can be taken. Especially if Boston got problems with Brogdon, Philadelphia, Harden, he can't stay out the clubs, and he don't want to be in Philly no more. So that's going to create, he ain't going to give his full effort. If he's still in Philly, he's not going to give his full effort, so you got them in turmoil. Miami staying pat. I don't think they can, but they're going to stay pat. Some of these other teams can move up. Some of these other teams can move up and get them.
Yeah, you're right about that. A lot of teams. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these movements, that's going to take place. Like we got preseason basketball. I think on the 5th, we got I think Dallas is playing.
They're in Dubai, aren't they?
Who?
In Dubai, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. So that's the first sign of basketball, which is the 5th of next month, preseason. Shout out Morris Jones with his $20 super chat. He says Brandon Ingram going to have an all-NBA year this upcoming season. He's going to jump his way into the top 15 and prove he's a top 5 wing in the league. Ooh, that's a tough. I like Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram is completely unstoppable.
Then Brandon should have brought back at least a damn bronze medal from FIBA then.
Yeah, I don't know what happened up there, Team USA. That wasn't a good look. What about the coaches, that they got there?
Millie Vanilli, the bar called it. Millie Vanilli coaching, bro.
I was going to say, the Krzyzewski was strong.
Yeah.
They got some I don't know.
They should let Tyronn. They should let Tyronn be the lead coach over there.
Yeah, or they should have let one of the. Popovich is not going to be. He don't want to do it, right?
No,
they should have gave it to Spo.
They should have gave it to Spo. Wemby's his last project. You see what I'm saying? Wemby's his last project. A lot of shoe politics was going on. Nike influence in Team USA is just a bit too much. That's not a whole other can of worms that
Well,
I'll talk about. We'll talk about it another time. You know, the politics of the shoes influences a lot of these moves too. They do. Nike does, and Adidas. You know, those are the main two. You know, and everything. So yeah, I don't know. They wasn't focused, and with what Noah Lyle said, now there's talk about who's really the real world champions and all this stuff. So so it's interesting. Yeah, Nike's influence around the NBA is too much. Nike has too much influence, and they influence certain other things, man, which is messing up. If you got talented players, Gilbert Arenas has an excellent podcast, man. Him and McCants talked about even like the different camps, how certain players select certain camps to get certain attention, depending on if it's a Nike or an Adidas camp or whatever. You know, it's like, that's ridiculous, man. You know, all the good players over here, but you know, McDonald's is the Adidas game, and some other. It's like, what is all that, man? You know. Anyway, yeah. So that's what I see with that flight. They went in and they you know, they got comfortable. They got too comfortable, man, and you know, they'll come back next year. It'll be it'll be a last run for some of the older players. It'll be their last run for the Olympics next year. I fully expect Lamelo Ball to be on the Olympics team. You know, they can squeeze him in 24, but definitely in 28, Lamelo will be on that team. Absolutely. You know, the old timers may be on the 24 team, you know, LeBron, KD, Steph, you know, and some of the, you know, Kawhi, maybe if they're motivated to come out to, you know, show that they can win or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You know. Definitely, Aramis James said, definitely, I heard they was trying not to start Edwards because he's Adidas. Correct. It happens, bro. Nike's influencing that whole thing. They influence the committee. You know, that messes up. That has messed that politics has potentially messed up a medal coming back to the United States, man. Are we serious? You know, anyway. So that's it, you know. Yeah, so yeah, everybody get the likes up, man. Support the channel. The chat has been lively. I appreciate it. Some in this chat I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Slumkin Hoops and everybody.
Yes, you know, and some of the others. And yeah, I haven't seen you guys in a long time. It's good to see you all again.
Definitely, like I said, we got a big time upcoming season coming out, and like I said, I doubt this is gonna be the last time we have a great discussion. I'm looking forward to definitely speaking with you this upcoming season with all of the games, and like I said, Hornets basketball is gonna be running rampant. We got preseason coming up, training camp next week. So I mean, it's big business. It's definitely a great time that the stars are aligning, and like I said, I definitely wish you the best. You flying solo, and like I hope it's very successful for you. And like I said, on your shows, I definitely wouldn't mind coming through. You say you're gonna be running things through StreamYard, and I definitely when you free, you know, I'll come over to your channel and we'll politic.
Yeah, we will. You know, and I'll come back here. And anybody else, you know, AB. What's up, AB? Yeah, you know, anybody else, man. We good all around. We good, man. We good all around. All the other stuff is over with. AB, ball facts. We good. You know what I'm saying? If there's any other conversation, you can DM me, man. We can talk.
Right. Well, like I said, I believe that hopefully it's the start of something special between us, you know, Chief Bartram, Flight Sports, you know, and like the list goes on. I hope that this sparks some sort of change within our YouTube community, you know, especially the Ballverse, you know, to understand that we all have a lot of similarities, and this live was so excellent. Like I said, I see what people are saying in the chat. People, you know, everybody, the reviews are looking great, you know, but 3 years, 2.5 years, you know, that held a situation like this from happening, and many other more situations from happening, you know. So I hope that something like this could spark change and bring people together, you know, and that's what Flight Sports is about, you know, all ball family minds coming together and giving the people what the people want. You know, that's what I want to do every day. I want to give the people what the people want and have all of us, you know, all of the major players that everybody listens to, you know, we all can come together and give the people something special. You know, because me on the panel with Bar Trend is a different energy than me on the panel with another person, you know, just a regular average Joe. You know, you definitely bringing out great topics in myself, and I'm pretty sure, same here, you answer excellent. Everything is firing, and I could only imagine if you had, you know, all of the people that, you know, that the people in the chat love. If we all could share a panel one day and speak, I could only imagine the intellect that would come from that, you know, and the people would be just blown away. And I want all the content creators, before we think about ourselves and what we want to do and our dislikes, when do we stop forgetting about the people, you know, and giving the people the show, giving the people what the people want? Don't ever forget about the people. That's what I want to let everybody know. You know, but appreciate you, Bar Trend. You know, we're going to be back definitely. Y'all go follow Bar Trend. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media, YouTube, and everything.
On social media, let me do this right quick.
Right.
Get out here. Let me put my link in.
Yeah,
let me put the link in right now for my YouTube.
We're going to drop the link. Yeah, so y'all go check it. Y'all go check this out. Check his channel out. We're going to definitely be over there. You know,
that's the link.
Yeah, so somebody said we should have a round table of Flight, Bar Trend, DJ, Hoop, AB, Ball Facts, Pope, and more. That's what.
Yes, Hoop Jargon. Oh yeah, shout out to you.
Shout out Hoop Jargon. Yeah, there's a lot of legends.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Yeah, shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
Nothing but respect. If that's what the people want to see, I would love to make it do it for the people. You know, yes. So hopefully everybody, because you got Bar Trend, he want to do it for the people. I'm pretty sure there's more names on that. I want to do it for the people. So y'all listen to what we saying. Did you drop your links?
Yeah, I put the link down for the YouTube. Okay. You know, everything else is Chief Bartran. You know, we go to Twitter, Chief Bartran.
Yeah, you know, Instagram as well. Y'all go check them out on IG.
Chief Bartran.
What can the people? If somebody's coming to your channel for the first time, what can the people expect?
They can expect a chill chat. They can expect thought-provoking content. I do basketball, but I also do music, you know, and I also do other self-help, different things. I'm OG, you know, I teach. You see what I'm saying? You know, so it's going to be thought-provoking content. It's going to be content where we laugh, where we think, you know, and, you know, if I make music that y'all vibe with, you can vibe with the music I make. I'm an artist, producer, engineer. I do it all. You know, I'm probably going to do a live cook-up this week. I haven't done one in a while. So I'm going to do a live cook. I'm going to chop up a sample. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm going to chop up a sample and build a beat. Right? I build a beat on the spot. You know, if you all come through there, if you're into music, see how it's made, I'll make a beat right on the spot and put bright bars to it. You know, I do that. I'm nice like that.
Well, you heard what the man said. Shout out Bar Trend. You know, I appreciate you for stopping by. Make sure everybody hit the like button. If you're new, most definitely hit that subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. I want to appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. It was an honor and a privilege to have my man Chief Bar Trend in here. It's just the first of many, man. There's going to be a lot of special things popping off, man. Salute to all y'all, man. Peace and love, man. God bless, man. It's Flight Sports
TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.